but now the tower shot's raining in.
It's surprising to see how well that Fnatic is able to take these extended sieges going into a team with a Guan Yu. It seems like they're always coming out ahead in HP, even after the healing comes through.
And that's the benefit of Guan, right? He just continuously heals the team, and if you can keep the fight going, you can continue to sustain.
Yeah, if they didn't have Guan there, they probably would have all died, maybe except one of them. Guan's just doing wonders right now for QG.
But Fnatic is forcing everything here, Bob. They're forcing the towers down, they're forcing fights at Gold Fury. Even if they don't win the engagement, they're still getting the objectives they're after, which is what they really need.
Indeed, there'll be no response here from the QG Reapers at the Gold Fury. Everyone leaving the base now. Sol forced to go defend the tier 1 tower on the left side. That's going to extend the lead to 8,000 gold, 10,500 experience on the side of Fnatic. It's 12-4, 17.5 minutes into this one, guys. If you are just joining us, it's the 4th game of 8 in the single games today, followed by a best of 3 in the Xbox side of things. But a fight breaking out of the Gold Fury with no objective to take.
Wow, they missed everything on Twig, and now Twig's going to put some pressure on tonight with the help of Maniac. Bludgeon will secure the kill, and he's just going to walk away. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I mean,
just keep going.
The Anubis ultimate does a tremendous amount of damage, but you saw what it did to Maniac there. Basically nothing.
Well, Master Luke in trouble. Let's go, she says, trying to get away. Juke out and will make it out for now. But once again, Fnatic pressure, just keeping out.
That should result in a tier 1 as well.
Yeah, I like this. They're taking the buff as well. They're taking everything they can, and they're going to try to push the left tower down, but they got minions all the way up here, so we might not see it.
Yeah, I'd love to push it, but I mean, I don't know. The response, that tower's so low that, you know, Reels may just leave it up just so that the Soul's forced to come back to the lane and fight him and maybe try to find another kill before taking it down, but they can rotate over there.
Two big talking points. Zeros has played very, very well in this mid lane. 5-0 and 4, been involved in the majority of the kills throughout the whole game. But the 1v1 matchup of Maniac versus Mikasa there in the solo lane, he's had a fine time there, Maniac. He put pressure on consistently. He got the tower earlier on, and he's making the plays in the fights too.
The one thing I want to see is Master Lu get into these fights and use his ultimates. He had some really phenomenal ones early game, and if he keeps those up in the late game, they can maybe turn the fight around, because Soul's ultimate is so powerful.
Wow, it's a Warlock sash for the Soul.
So going to go for the stacks. It's 18 minutes in. I mean, it's a little bit late.
Yeah, I think it's too late for that. Oh, we got a fight here.
Mikasa's in a bit of trouble here. Does have the cavalry charge available and will end up using that one to get out of danger. But that's what Fnatic wanted last time, and then they forced a fight afterwards.
Yeah, they're perfectly happy with that play, I think, on the side of Fnatic. Every time they can force that Guan Yu ultimate, it's going to be a win, because cavalry charge is one of the best kind of counter initiation tools that Kwaiku has outside of.
Well, we've a left-hand side looking
forward
for
as
Sol.
Gem.
They will get the pressure onto her, but that's all she wrote. Reels wanted the 1v1 there with the support.
I want to see the damage again. I think Bologna has massive damage this game. He's just doing whatever he wants. Look at that. 15,000 damage. That's insane.
Oh, Blink in. They're looking for the pressure onto Zeros, but immediate backflip in response. Gets away. Twig now blinks at himself. Fear no evil over the top. Looking for the damage onto Knight, but Knight responds with some poke back. Thanatos in there with the Cataclysm from Gem in support. Twig's in trouble now. Will Twig fall? No, leaps away. But here comes Maniac.
Maniac doing a ton of damage with the bludgeon on the backside. Anubis to fall, continuing on into If. If with the rollout, he's going to make it out of here for now. Looks like Young will be fine as well on the Thanatos. QG will, oh no. No. Bye-bye.
He's also going to fall down. He actually stood and just accepted his fate, then he had no way of escaping whatsoever. Blink in and ducks as well. Reels
doesn't ever stop.
Yep, Reels going to get himself a double kill as well, and you can see that Mikasa is going to back all the way to base.
Yeah, they were also able to pick up the Soul in left lane. The combination between Badger and Reels.
Well, what happened was QG initiated mid lane, failed the initiation, and Badger wasn't there, so he went over to the dual lane to put pressure on, finds the kill, and meanwhile the 3v4 in the mid lane ended up going in Fnatic's favor as well.
They go up 1,000 gold just from the kills. They'll take another 1,500 out of the tier 2 tower here. Will the boys of Fnatic, they'll take a tier 1 on the left side as well, it appears, and they'll farm out the rest of the jungle, including the mid camps, strangling QG out of a comeback, and this one, it appears, through 20.5 minutes.
The messy start that we saw, the backwards and forwards in the lane for the most part in the duo, everything else seemed to just farm off and continue as expected. But then, slowly but surely, it's been a methodical game from Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic's playing really, really well. Maniac's a standout player definitely for this game. He's just doing whatever he wants.
Is it Maniac or Zeros? I mean, Zeros has been the quiet one in this game, but look at his build. He's into crit now already. 5-0 and 4, level 19.
No, yeah, Zeros is phenomenal, but I just feel like Maniac is pushing them all out.
Had the most impact, I think, as well. I mean, like, the Soul Lane's been a huge liability. The Guan Yu has been consistently pushed out, especially now that the Frostbound Hammer's done. He's liable to die.
And that matchup can go either way as well, to be fair. I mean, the matchup Guan versus Bologna, straight up, is kind of go both ways.
Well, we're going to see exactly how powerful Maniac is.
There we go.
Zone out the team. In will go QG, but the Fire Giant I don't think was really committed to by Fnatic. They'll land on the back line and try to do the damage to Maniac, but Maniac will continue to zone the team. Down will go on the front line, and now Fnatic
So if goes in, he tries to get an initiation off, but he gets isolated on his own. Once again, one tries to go on someone to support. He goes on Bologna, the tankiest target, doesn't find anything.
Look at this, Maniac's Doom, he's just going to back and teleport right in at full mana. That's just going to be hard to deal with for them. Look at, he's right there on the fire giant. Oh, they allowed a lot of pits on the fire.
I don't think they really thought about that one too much with Reels up close, but maybe they've got a chance to go in here. Nope, too little too late. They're not going to find the kill. Mikasa now isolated, has to cavalry charge away.
Mikasa, the Neath ultimate just a bit off. The Hunbot's ultimate is good to hit over smash as well. They really want this kill. Mikasa going deep indeed, and they will get an overhand smash from Captain Twig, sealing the deal. 22 minutes in, it's 19-4, and Fnatic is knocking on the door as Young will go down as well.
Tier 2 down the right-hand side should be the next objective for them. All with the Fire Giant here, all decent mana and health. Potentially look for a Phoenix or quick back to base. What would you do, Aurora?
I think they might look for a Phoenix. One is dead right now, and they have the Fire Giant. They have the pressure right now as well, so they're going to look at the Phoenix right here.
Let's take a look at Gold in hand. That'll help us understand exactly when they will go back. I mean, yeah, it's about 2K on Hunbot, but yeah, given this, with only about 1,000 on the Bologna, just went back and bought. Yeah, I think it makes sense. They'll take the Phoenix. They have the power plays, Aurora mentioned. They have a couple members down. And yeah, they'll shoot the gumballs in from Freya. The double Hunter, very, very good at objectives. Freya not the best against necessarily the Phoenix.
Oh, but Neath is a lot better than Sol, for example. I mean, just because of the physical, so it will fall down for them as well. What was the point of the build here on Captain Twig? Have you noticed it's all pen? He went Wing Blade, no crit items that you normally set up on Bats is looking for extra damage. It's a very supportive kind of Bats build, right?
This is the World's build.
Well,
just like last year.
No, because everyone had Wing Blade last year.
Yeah.
That was the difference.
But I mean, that's what we saw. We saw all these junglers that we were like these damage carry junglers foregoing damage items in lieu of the Wing Blade.
Yeah, I really like Pen, though. Pen's like the best stat for damage for sure on squishy targets. With the Pen he has right now, if he gets a crit on the backline, he's going to do massive damage.
Well, Gold Fury looks like it's going to be a foregone conclusion here on the side of Fnatic. Maniac starts it up. Zeros acquiesces to kill it. Alienware's Gold Fury is down for the third time this game in favor of Fnatic.
And just look at how the graphs are showing you there. Just constant pressure for Fnatic, winning most of the objective fights and the team fights that have followed. There was signs of life from QG at times.
This game seems like a candidate that we may see our first 30,000 Golder experience difference.
I think so. Very carefully go down every single lane, take every tower, take every Phoenix. They're not just going to push on like enemy did and just look to end.
I feel like QG is going to try to stand up on the next Phoenix. They have Thanatos, they have Geb, but Fnatic has the Bologna ult, so I feel like there's going to be a hard initiation in, and it's going to be the last fight of the game.
Honestly, quite a bit could come down to the shield of the Underworld on the Guan Yu. Like, if he's able to return a tremendous amount of damage and force Reels or Zeros out of the fight, or at least stop their DPS from coming out, you know, that could be the window that they need. Mail of Renewal is up on Thanatos as well, so you know, it could turn into a nice
Master Lu's in trouble.
Not if Master Lu goes down. Disapparate is going to be enough for now.
And now he's going to have to sit on the backside for quite a considerable amount of time there before that's available for them. This potentially means that they have to give up this tower already, and you can see QG, well aware of that, going to back up themselves.
Yeah, with Mikasa having no mana here, they can't really heal themselves. It's the right call. They can see the tier 2 and fight at the base.
Reels is really scary right now.
Master Lu.
Yep.
Okay,
he's good, but yeah, Reels is extremely scary. He has both his pen items done. He's going to be hitting very hard on Geb
Keep an eye on Badger.
and the front lines.
Badger looking for the root, not going to find it there.
Yeah,
oh, what?
No, they just want the protections.
Rally here.
No, that was a misclick.
No, come on.
Oh, here's the initiation. Blink catches, and there's the bomb from Sol coming down. No wrap hit from Anubis. Wheels in the sky, returning damage. Mikasa should fall. No, a good shield from Geb will save the day. And it's actually Twig that falls down tonight.
Thanatos is up in the air. He's waiting for that backflip. Going to come down, find a stun on it too. But they don't have very much damage here. He's going to beads, but still will get knocked up. Young trying to get out of this fight. Maniac, he's going to get stopped out of the bludgeon. That's good. Silence as well from the Thanatos. Beads away. Neath gonna stopped by it. It will be going down here, as will Anubis. Knight is down, chasing into the base. Are the boys of Fnatic in some trouble as Maniac here, but the bulwark of hope preventing a lot of that damage from coming through. High levels of mitigation out of that item when you drop under the threshold. And indeed, just fine is Fnatic. They drop only one in Captain Twig. Signs of life from QG. A nice fight picked up as well, but still.
I agree. QG, it wasn't clean from Fnatic that at all, and QG came out on top. A blinking from Badger, going to get the abduct off, forcing away Sol once again.
Master Lu got hit by 2 shots from Reels, and is at 1/3 HP.
I mean, she's a mage after all, right? She's very, very squishy for the most part, even with the Warlock Sash, which actually is still not fully stacked.
This, my friends, appears to be where this game will end. One final surge from QG. And indeed, it will push Fnatic out of the base. Fnatic, you're right, Graham, on this one. You know, they're definitely biding their time. Another Roman Victor off the mark this time, but will provide the protections. QG continuing forward.
Can he find it?
Young, they find one onto Maniac. He barely got below the threshold, and then they will actually hold, it appears, for now. Can they keep the Fire Maidens out now? A Phoenix is going to come up on the right side in a few moments, but the Titan is already slipping down under AK. Reels will pick up a kill on the Thanatos.
Ouch! He got bursted on now. All because his QG can really sit in base. All the Phoenix is down. Phoenix is going to spawn on the rank, though, soon. It will begin flashing shortly.
That is a very brave soul.
That's a very
about that
dead
far.
soul.
Ultimate used. Knight is there, channeling his ultimate as well. Not much cooking. Badger just doing whatever he wants in the front line there. No one can stop the Khepri. They tried to tee off on him earlier on, but now he's just flat out too tanky. Fnatic piling in on the Titan, down under 4K, down under 3K HP, falling, and down it will go indeed. Fnatic will defeat the QG Reapers in just under 30 minutes. Guys, well, it was a snowball composition. It seemed like it didn't really get off to a great start out of QG.
And I think that's been the thing with China the whole weekend so far. The both games we've seen from China, their ideas have been good. The execution has hurt them both times.
I really liked that game out of QG, though. They showed they had a lot of potential there. They just didn't convert on the early fights. They could have easily went either way.
Completely agree. It's about the early game. They go for these early game comps from what we can see from the Chinese teams both times, and they didn't manage to execute it perfectly.
And Master Lu, the solo kill on Reels.
I know, right? That's the achievement on
You did that, right?
Got the solo kill on Reels. No problem.
You know, I do think that it's interesting to point out now that with QG losing this game, they will go on to face OMG B later on in the bracket. So we're going to have a China versus China game.
We are?
As OMG did drop to Pain.
That's correct.
That should be hype.
And it'll be Pain versus Epsilon later on as well.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh, they're going to do that one? Why not?
That's
Brazil
scary.
looking good.
That's scary.
Brazil looking good.
Yeah, but it's Brazil do win their first game. The only international team outside of the Western world to make it with a victory.
So far this tournament.
So far, we saw
this tournament, at least 2 more of them can win.
But this was the last game of the preceded teams. Right now we're going to go into the winners playing each other, losers playing each other, guys. But that's enough out of us, Max. Any final words?
I liked how QG played, but Fnatic got the best of them.
Well, there you go, guys. From our lovely analysts here in Aurora, guys. Let's toss it back over to our real analysts. It's Golden Boy and Adonis, guys. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Bart. All right, so that game kind of went south for QG very, very quickly. You know, you did see at the beginning there, you know, looked good, right? You know, from the top down, but then as you start to get a little bit more granular, things started to crumble, and then you just saw Fnatic run with it.
Yeah, you saw the game pretty, not even, but only slightly in Fnatic's favor. They had a couple kills. Reels actually ends up with the first blood at 145. Almost turned dangerous, though, because Badger didn't want to steal the kill away from him, so Reels went a little deep, so Reels did fall as well. Then the next 2 kills, once again, coming out from Reels, gets a double a minute later. I mean, Reels just got so far ahead so early.
So Reels, world-class hunter, gets the first blood, 2 kills after that, and then gets soloed by the Chinese. I mean, Reels, come on, dude. Let's go.
Well, so actually something that the casters had noted in that one was that it could have been like a possible disrespect. Like, he just didn't think that he would do that. I don't know. Incon, what do you think?
Reels definitely walked in a position that he wouldn't have normally of, I think, in one of his games. I think he was kind of feeling himself like, oh, I've got a couple of kills. He's not going to come aggressive on me, and definitely put himself out of position into a spot he would not have normally done.
Yeah, and, you know, another thing to note, too, is that Freya pick, man. You know, Freya really did change the course of the battle a couple times there. Some great plays, without a doubt. All right, so breaking it down some more, though, you know, kind of talking about that Anubis pick, maybe not the best thing in hindsight?
It looked good at the start. You know, you want to burn through players, but you take a look at the gods that Fnatic drafted, and they were very good at getting away from the Anubis. Not only did they have the Khepri for the revive, but additionally, we never saw Captain Twig actually jump in aggressively. All he ever did was teleport in with the monkey or use his blink, and he didn't need to use his jump until Knight ulted.
Yeah, I mean, with the Anubis pick, it's fun, you know, but is it really the pick you want to bring out of Worlds? It's Anubis, you know, he's not a top tier pick, and maybe if they picked something else, then Knight could have had a stronger showing, maybe like a Chronos or something, because I know Channel loves that, but the Anubis, it is fun, but...
For me, honestly, I don't mind the Anubis pick. For me, it was more of the fact that they did not play aggressive early. When he picked up the wrap at level 3, I was waiting for him to wrap so Thanatos would guaranteed hit his scythe. If he could have guaranteed hit his scythe, at level 3, that's like half your health, which means they could have instantly blew somebody up, but they were playing way too passive.
All right, and another thing to note too that our production team had sent my way was that QG had 0 tower damage throughout.
Vigilda. Ya, chiquillos, vamos a hacer 2 filas. Vamos a hacerlo arriba para que se despache. Ya tengo esa esquina, así que todos los pobres. Ponte en la pobreza, weón. Toda la pobreza, papá.
Sí, por ahí. Por ahí tiene que ser. Es que se cae la weá. Sí. Ahí va bien.
La chela ahí se hicieron presente.
Ahí no. Estamos aprovechando de hacer juegos. Estamos aprovechando de hacer juegos con la gente que está acá en el lugar. Ya hemos regalado Poseidones Barba Negra. Vamos a regalar ahora, ¿no es cierto?, el skin de Baco, Bruninda. Y quizás también vamos a estar regalando unos Chintian, para que estén muy atentos ustedes. También vamos a tratar de mandarle más códigos. Yo sé que desaparecimos un ratito porque fuimos a almorzar, pero ya estamos acá de vuelta. Así que para que lo sepan. Que lo sepan, que lo sepan, no sean... No piensen que los dejamos abandonados. Ustedes que están ahí en sus casas, en regiones, no pueden venir. Y ustedes, si usted aquí en Santiago no viene, venga, pues se está perdiendo muchas gemas, más de 9000 gemas. Y tenemos poleras también. De hecho, podríamos mostrar la bolera. Vamos a mostrar la bolera.
No confíen en el equipo.
Tenemos poleras.
50-50.
El panteón japonés para que vengan, así que vengan, no se queden en la casa.
No confíen en el Kirio. Como dicen los pobres. ¿Viste? Barry, ¿viste que ha hecho usted? Tampoco la tiene el Barry. Justo en la pobreza. En toda la pobreza.
¿Dónde está? ¿Ah? ¿Ah? ¿Qué? Ah, ya, pues. Déjame.
Ay, qué calor. Que él ganó, porque ganó la que de banco.
Ya, ¿te lo anoto acá? ¿O te lo anoto acá en el teléfono?
No, sabía que estaba en esa mano, hermano. Es que, ¿sabes por qué? Es que como que le dio un tic en esa mano. Y dije,
para comprar el godpack. Ya, te anoto el tiro. Dame tu correo. ¿Sí? No se quedan más. No es solo uno. Son varios. Son varios. Son varios, mierda. Son como 9 lucas. Están llegando 1000 weas. Haz tu correo. ¿Ah? El Bastion tiene, weón. La otra vez me pasó una weá en cantidad estúpida. Lo reté. Le dije que eso podía llegar a la PDI, weón, si lo iba a llegar. Por la weá nada. El link de SP. De carne de pollo. Y le dije que no vea esas cosas. ¿Para qué esas cosas? ¿Sí? ¿Ah? Ya. Y a ti te regalaron entonces el Draco, ¿no es cierto? Paco de Uroninda. Y las gemas, ¿no es cierto? Y ahora sí, déjame revisar cuánto era el precio ahora. Creo que era 9300. Déjame mirar.
Now, you know, this team, people kind of wrote them off against a very, very interesting OMG roster, but yet now they're facing off against Epsilon, a team that looks poised to go all the way. Ataraxia, your thoughts on Epsilon versus Ping?
I am really excited to see Stalker versus Demi. We talked about Stalker's tier and how great it was, and then we got to see Stalker's tier and how great it is. So I'm really interested to see how Demi deals with this, because he is a master of counter matchups. That's the one thing. He is a very deep god pool, and he's willing to play a lot of things, whether they're standard or not. So for me, you know, are they going to let Stalker get this tier, and then what's Demi going to do with it?
If I was Epsilon, I would go ahead and just ban out the tier. You know it's his most comfortable guide. You know he's the star player of Pain Gaming. No reason to give it to him, just like there's no reason to give Adapting Thor.
Absolutely.
And, you know, that tier could become a contested pick. I don't necessarily know if it will, but Demi is one of the other players in the world that is willing to play tier and loves playing. And like you said, his deep god pool, he'll play Poseidon as well. I don't know how much of that was experimentation during the Pro League, but seeing what Demi's going to play is going to be pretty exciting.
It's interesting you mentioned the Poseidon, actually, because Poseidon used to be, I'm not sure if it still is, but Poseidon was his counter to tier.
Yes.
He does very well in lane because it stops him having any wave clear, so Poseidon just shoves him under tower constantly. And then you have the really big kill potential because tier's ultimate is the only way you get away from the Kraken, and the timing can be a bit iffy.
I want to see if Demi's going to remain the Undying, basically. Like 15 deaths in 28 games is it's stupid. Like, you should not have that few deaths. It's like half a death a game. It's incredible. And Demi, we haven't really seen him challenged at all this year outside of Super Regionals. I don't know if Stalker's going to be the man to do it, but it could be.
I mean, potential, right? I mean, you know, Stalker comes with him a lot of hype. I mean, he is a star player for this team. So if someone could do it, I mean, that would be the guy on Pain that would have to make it happen. But taking a look here at Epsilon, I mean, this roster is just so good and so talented. everyone expects them to go far. We had mentioned it before. You know, people say top 4 could realistically be Epsilon, Fnatic, Cloud9, and Paradigm. You know, Pain Gaming knows that everyone's writing them off in this game. So, again, lots of pressure on them. Could they perform, especially considering that everyone wrote them off for their first matchup against China's OMG?
And that's the thing, too, is you take a look at the styles, and, you know, both these game styles may benefit Pain Gaming because just like OMG, Epsilon, very aggressive, especially out of the jungle, and we saw how well Pain adapted to that aggression and played this counter-engage style, especially, you know, you see Sultan in the middle, they're playing that Giannis escaping so many ganks, having perfect positioning, and, you know, Nagare in the support role just doing a great job of keeping him and his carries alive. So the game style of Epsilon could play into Pain's hands.
Yeah, I really want to see out of Pain Gaming what we haven't seen yet, which is an aggressive early game comp that you play aggressive. We're seeing sometimes people are just playing very passive early because they pick passive comps. We've also seen aggressive comps played passive. I want to see a jungle invade. It's a best of one. You put your best foot forward and you throw Epsilon off early, because if you let them get anywhere close to a mid game, there's no chance.
So, you know, I asked it at the beginning in the first couple rounds when I said, all right, here you go. This is it, right? Do you play cautious or, you know, but against Epsilon, you have to give them everything you possibly have. I mean, this is going to be, I would honestly think, the toughest challenge for Pain Gaming yet. Wouldn't you agree, Adarexia?
Absolutely. I mean, you come against this world-class team. They have so much. They have this just an aura around them. You know, even though they came in as a second seed, they are just so. You go against them and you're fearful. You know, they have such a presence, and overcoming that on the stage, it's no small task. You know, it's a big ask.
Do you expect Incon and Adonis to see meta bans, or do you expect to see more target bans out of Pain Gaming to Epsilon?
I'd say it's pretty meta. Outside of maybe Thor might be banned out. I'm not exactly sure who's first pick on this squad, but no team you saw Isurus, right? They left open a lot of picks, and then they first picked Thor. And apparently, you know, just getting word, Epsilon is first pick. So I do expect to see that Thor banned out away from adapting.
Yeah, if your Epsilon's going to have the first pick option, you know they're going to pick up Thor. There's no reason not to. Give him the comfort pick. Give him the greatest jungler in the world, questionably. Not questionably.
I think over, like, maybe
him and Andy, right?
Between the two, yeah.
Between the two of them, I would not give him the Thor. But at the same time, if you want to leave open Xing, 10, Bellona, all these, Soul, there's so many incredibly strong gods right now. So really, you just got to pick what poison you want.
That's very true. You know, and we'll see if that actually comes into fruition here. You know, I think Pain Gaming, you know, they know that they have their backs against the wall, and they know that this is a huge opportunity for them to make a statement at Smite World Championships. The winner of this matchup, as a matter of fact, will move into the
they're going to be on the lower side.
4. So it'll be a lower part of the bracket where they will face off against the loser of Enemy and Fnatic. So by all means, this is not an easy road for either team, right? If Pain wins, they're dealing with another NA powerhouse, another EU powerhouse, and then for Epsilon, we could see the biggest challenge that this team has had.
And, you know, Epsilon, it's going to be interesting because that bottom bracket, if they end up winning over Pain, it's going to be looking pretty stacked if Enemy or Fnatic find their way down there. There's 3 teams that could all, you know, we expect to all compete for the title outside of maybe Enemy, but I mean, even Enemy, they looked pretty good earlier on, so who knows?
Yeah. Anorexia?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the thing is, that's Cloud9's side of the bracket, right? So,
yes.
So you know, whichever team comes through, this is no doubt the hardest road. Paradigm are fantastic, and they are the challenge on the top side. But, you know, we have Enemy, Fnatic, Epsilon, and C9 all on this bottom side, and it's not a good place to be unless you really love a challenge. You know, if you want to be the best, then this is where to be.
Honestly,
you know,
if I'm Epsilon, I would much rather go up against Cloud9 the Paradigm, because you just lost to Paradigm. They've proven that they can beat you. So if they beat Pain Gaming to go against Cloud9, I count that as a huge win. You want to be going against Cloud9 in this case.
In the immortal words of the nature boy Ric Flair, in order for you to be the best, you got to beat the best.
All right.
And that is the second WWE reference in this broadcast.
There's only going to be
20 more.
You know what? There's only going to be one Smite World Championship or champion for Season 2. You're gonna have to beat everyone no matter what. So, you know, play to win here. But OMGB, or excuse me, not OMG, Pain Gaming, their chances, it's going to be hard for them matching up against Epsilon here. If I'm going to see something big, I really expect to see it out of that mid lane. I think Yaman really plays to help adapting, while we see the jungler for Pain really play and try and help awareness. So it's going to be interesting.
Okay, so here's the thing. How many deaths does Dimmy have?
It was 15 in 28
No, but
games.
how many does he have in this game, do you think?
0.
0.
0.
0.
If someone on Epsilon is going to go without deaths or with the... regardless of how this tournament goes, I will say now that I think that Dimmy is going to be the least death on the team. And no, I'm going to say it in the world. I think regardless of whether Epsilon win or not, Dimmy will have the least deaths in the entire tournament.
That's kind of crazy to think. You know, you said that's just insane, right? I mean, it is. Like, and for Pain, you know, do you think that shutting down Dimmy might act... And again, we're talking about, like, you know, this is like the greatest thing that would ever happen for Pain and those 5 gentlemen. But shutting down Dimmy on solo, is that like, you know, the goal that they should have, or not even worry about that and just move forward to the other 4 members?
I mean, I don't think they should try and, like, that's the thing. Like, if you're trying to shut down Dimmy, that's playing in Epsilon's favor, because he's not, you can't shut him down. What you do is you go even with him, and you make sure to transition into team fights. If you're like trying to spend your focus on the guy who never dies, if that's what you're putting all your efforts and resources, Epsilon's like, okay, because we trust Dimmy to not die. If you're sending 3 to his lane, they're going to do Gold Furies. Like, putting that much effort and patience into trying to shut him down is just, it's bad.
I agree.
Yeah.
Trying to shut down Dimmy is not the right situation here. Stalker's going to have to handle Dimmy all on his own. He's going to have to take him on by himself, because you have to put pressure elsewhere on the map. Adapting's not going to be focusing on the lane because tanks are being played in that lane. You don't want to be ganking a Xing 10 or a Bologna over and over again. You want to be ganking the squishier targets.
Makes sense. What about Adapting? You know, again, you had listed him as the GOAT before. He had one heck of a game. This guy is just, you know, again, an Epsilon roster, all 5 just playing lights out. And you're looking at this matchup between Adapting and Honor in the, or excuse me, wrong team. Adapting and Madrugao.
Yes.
Right, there you go. You gotta roll the tongue.
I can't do that. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Ataraxia, over to you. Does Madrugao have the opportunity? Say that 5 times fast, by the way, is insane. To go toe to toe here with Adapting.
Well, he certainly has the opportunity, but whether he'll deliver is another question. I think Adapting, you know, it's always the question of his god pool. It's so... Everyone associates him with Thor, and rightly so. He's probably, you know, him and Andy contested for the best Thors, but he's very good at it. But he's also very good at everything else. And I think it's just that he gets Thor so much. Not just Adapting's Thor, it's Adapting's everything.
I mean, we saw his earlier too. Just
exactly, yeah, that was
the
insane.
perfect
With the hit
mechanics.
chain and everything, you know, that's not something that you just... So... For me, I'd love to see Adapting just play something different, you know?
I would love
Maybe
to see
stay away
Adapting.
from Thor, just try
I'd love
something
him to
new.
break out Mercury, honestly.
Oh,
I think
Mercury.
Mercury's going to be one of these breakout picks of the tournament. Nobody's taken it out yet. They want to play it slow and keep it hidden. I don't think it's going to be hidden for too much longer.
He was banned
You got
once.
to play to win. He was
Yeah, he
banned,
was banned, yeah.
He was banned once. You got to play to win. I think now is the time to bring out the Mercury, make people afraid of it, so they ban out your Mercury instead of your Thor.
Ah, interesting thing there. I mean, again, everyone kind of expects the, you know, the Thor ban, right? I mean, you know, that kind of makes sense. And if you show someone, hey, I could do just as bad. But then the question comes, you know, in regards to Epsilon using this particular god against some of the, you know, top tier teams here, especially if they face off against the likes of Cloud9 in the semifinals, as people have been predicting. Does that even become a factor? Is Mercury just as effective, or is it just because
Mercury
of the situation?
Is one of the best junglers in the game right now. He's a little bit underrated. He's one of the few gods in the game that can get something absurd like 150 power at level 1 if you build him correctly with sprint and speed buff and all the things you can do. His gank potential is incredibly unstoppable, even more so than Thor. For Thor, you can ward his typical ganking location. For Mercury, he's typically going to ult you down the lane, and you can't ward behind their tier 1 tower without putting yourself extremely out of position.
What I want to talk about most with Mercury, if that becomes a factor, whether it's this matchup or the next one, is the fact that gods that people don't traditionally play against and how effective they are. Even if they're not the strongest god in their role, if players haven't practiced or been practicing these gods, it can really throw them off. It's not that they're so much better, right? It's not that Mercury is so much better than Thor or significantly better. It's the fact that I haven't played against Mercury in forever, and when he ganks my lane at 3 minutes because he ulted behind that tier 1 tower, it just throws you off guard, and it's not something you're used to. I think you have probably the best example with Ares and Ymir against North America last year.
Yeah, exactly. It's, you know, when you don't play against these gods, they have... You see a few gods who have very unique gank styles, and Mercury is alone. He is the only god who will come from behind a tower. You can't even see him. You know, his teammates will get him vision, and then he's going to ult down the lane. And unless you've played against a lot of Mercury, or you're constantly thinking, where's Mercury, where's Mercury, where's Mercury, you're going to get caught off guard, sorry. And especially in the duo, because it's the longest lane, you have that sense of security with your support. I am the worst person for getting ganked by Mercury. It's awful. I love the god. He's one of my favorites, but I hate to play against him because I'm very forgetful for that. So, I mean, I just love to see him. I really hope we get him.
Speaking of other picks, we haven't seen too much. I was talking with Anatoly and Kiwi a little bit during the last game. We haven't really seen too much Chiron. Why do you really think that is, Nate?
I don't know. I really expected to see Chiron just all the time. You know, maybe. I mean, Reels with Freya, that's understandable. Soul's been open a couple of times, it's understandable. But we've seen Neath picked over it and a Medusa once, right?
Do you expect to see either more in the second half of this first round, or maybe best of threes, best of fives?
I hope so. I'm dumbfounded, really. Chiron, in my opinion, is a very versatile hunter who is good at everything. He doesn't have a bad point, so why teams aren't picking him early, I don't know.
For me right now, it comes down to two options, right? Either people are trying to save that pick and they don't want to, show anything too early, or because he is one of the newer gods in the game, they hadn't had enough time to practice with him, and maybe they're not super comfortable with him, at least in terms of breaking him out at a world championship level.
Yeah, a lot of question marks going into this picks and ban. Do we potentially see some surprise picks? Do we see what we've been seeing throughout? That is the question. Adonis?
Epsilon will play standard. If anyone's going to do anything crazy, it'll be Pain Gaming. If something crazy happens, it's Pain.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, folks. So, without further ado, we have Sean down at the stage with an interview. Sean, what's going on?
I am indeed on the stage, Golden Boys. How are you guys doing? I'm lucky enough to be joined. Irafa, how are you doing, sir?
I'm awesome, thank you.
Good. Standing over here is Schultzen from Pain. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Now, we were having a little trash talk here before the cameras came on, and there were some words going back and forth. So I'm just going to ask, can you recap what we were talking about, Irafa?
I'm not BM, dude.
No?
I may have said we'll F6 if they get one kill, but it's just banter.
It's just banter. It's all healthy. But of course, Schultz, how did that make you feel?
Oh, we're going to see in stage.
Pardon?
We're going to see in stage, or we're going to see in the game.
You're going to do it in the game, or you're going to say it now on stage?
No, we're going to do it in the game.
It's all going to be in the game. How does that make you feel, knowing that it's all going to happen in the game and none of the words on the stage mean anything?
I'm looking forward to it. They've come a long way. They deserve it. It's going to be some GGs.
That's some beautiful stuff. A round of applause to these two guys. Now, gentlemen, it is important that we shake hands even after the words that were shared here. So please, come forward and shake hands. I can tell you right now, there's a little intensity there. It was tough getting it out of them, but I promise it'll be a good match. Are you guys ready for this next match between Epsilon and Pain Gaming? Come on, guys. I believe in you. Let us hear you. Come on, make some noise. That was absolutely beautiful. Guys, I'm sure they're going to put on performance. Wish them the best of luck. Let's head over to picks and bans.
All right, thank you so much. It's kind of like taking blood from a stone there, almost.
They got it out eventually,
Yeah.
Rapper trying to stay a little bit reserved. He to take a spill in the middle of the year.
That makes sense.
I think it might be safe for him to stick away from the BM for a little bit.
Yeah, I think, he had a small ban in the middle of the year, but he's rebounded nice, at the SWC. So.
Okay, all right. So here we go, folks. Picks and bans have started here, and it's going to be bans coming in first for Epsilon. Bologna will not be in this one. Soul gets knocked out for Pain. Let's see what Epsilon goes with here.
Pretty standard bans coming out right now with the Bologna and the Soul. Nothing too crazy right now, just two of the strongest gods of the game that we don't want to deal with, but we got to keep an active look out for the Thor.
So when we look at this Bologna ban, what we noticed when we saw Epsilon play before is that they didn't ban it because they don't think anyone's going to first pick it. They think the people are going to take the Soul or the Jingshan or whatever, and then they're going to take it on the second pick. So clearly what we're seeing here, the fact that they will ban it on first pick, is that they have something they're willing to pick, but they definitely don't want to play against the Bologna. So
they've also already immediately adapted to Pain Gaming style, right? Madruga played that Bologna in the jungle role, in that counter-initiate style, and I believe they also had the Geb instead of the Khepri, but Khepri kind of the same regard as Geb, a very defensive support. And, Epsilon are kind of just taking away that comfort of play style that Pain really like.
Oh, okay, and Neath ban coming through here. Thor?
No. Oh, yeah. We haven't seen Zeus all
They
really.
did ban the Zeus, as did Fnatic, scrim partners. So clearly Zeus a very highly thought of pick here by both teams.
Zeus, while still an incredibly strong character, had received a nerf fairly recently to his bounce time. It does move quite a bit slower, which does affect Zeus in terms of getting your stacks on for the detonate. So we're going to see how much that affects Epsilon here and how comfortable they are with that new timing.
All right, well, let's see if Thor gets picked up here for Pain.
I feel like if it's not picked up for Pain, then Epsilon are almost guaranteed to lock it in.
There you go.
Like, Thor provides so much for your team, not only offensively, but defensively as well. And yeah, Pain, they have to lock it in because if Adapting gets Thor, he's just going to be able to protect
Chiron,
the
here we
there
go.
We go.
Maybe the first time we see Chiron, he's locked in. And that's exciting. We get to see Chiron being played.
And this was planned because you could see the two gods they banned were hunters who do very well against Chiron.
I agree. That's incredibly smart bans for wanting to pick up the Chiron. One of his problems is early game is clear isn't the strongest, especially against characters like Solar Neath who have incredible clear. So that allows him to go into the hunter role, though they could still run it mid lane, although it looks doubtful at this point. And Xing 10 on the side of Epsilon Esports because it's Xing 10.
I mean, Xing 10, one of the hardest Guardians to kill, you know, on Dimmy, one of the hardest players to kill, so it's going to be interesting.
Should be a good game for Dimmy here. And the thing about the Xing Shen as well is that we didn't see them pick it up before because Bologna was available.
Yes.
Bologna has a very good lane against Xing because she pushes him down and Xing can't really get rolling early. But with Bologna off the board, Xing Shen can do whatever he wants.
Pain Gaming coming with the Athena as well, now having a ton of global presence coming out of their team. Athena and the Thor is giving you presence across the entirety of the map. To be noted, though, the Athena ultimate cooldown is quite long right now, so I expect this here to go into cooldown boost to make up for that.
Any thoughts about on her as well here? You know, good hunter pick here for Epsilon, and Tyr gets picked for Pain.
Emilito has always loved his on her. He's one of the flagship European players for on her. And, you know, Stalker's Tyr, very excited to see how this does against Xing Shan. I believe it's quite a good matchup for Tyr. But when it comes to team fights, who's going to do more work, Xing or Tyr?
Fenrir coming out for adapting. I haven't seen personally his Fenrir in quite a while, actually.
We actually saw it at Super Regionals, and I hated it. It was it wasn't like terrible, but he was getting poked out. He was going in at bad times. He just it was probably his worst performing game was on that Fenrir.
It wasn't the same presence that he had with Thor and Hunbat.
Same. And Kronos, the last pick locked in. That's going to the mid lane.
What do you think last pick going to be for Pain?
Oh no, that's solo. Oh, is that?
So it's a Xing Shan's support and then a Kronos solo.
That's what it has to be then.
Yeah, because Kronos does do well against Tyr. Same thing, you lock him out of his Fearless. So Kronos actually has significant 1v1 potential against Tyr.
Look at this global presence coming out of Pain Gaming. As if Thor and Athena weren't enough, let's put Janus on our team so everybody can go across the entirety of the map.
And Tyr's going to have TP as well.
So early picks. Who do you think's going to take it? Lightning round, go.
Epsilon.
Epsilon takes it. Pain Gaming, better team comp.
Epsilon, Dimmy is going to 1v1 Tyr. All day, all day.
All right, folks. Well, let's see how all this pans out. Epsilon Esports versus Pain Gaming. Casters, take it away.
Thanks very much, Golden Boy. We're here live, and we've got an exciting one more time. This time it's Epsilon taking on Pain, as we just heard. And, I mean, he's right down the middle. I see Dimmy on a Kronos. I see Adapting on a Fenrir. This is a throwback competition from Epsilon.
And I agree with what Incon said backstage as well, is that I really feel Pain Gaming have the best composition here, but I'm going to side with Epsilon.
I really like the Fenrir pick from Adapting. They have a lot of dashes. Chiron has a dash, Athena has a dash, Tyr has his Fearless is technically a dash.
And they got globals on top of that?
Yeah, and they got globals on top of that. So look at Adapting making big impact in this game, and I think Epsilon will take it.
Exactly. I mean, recently Adonis did mention that the performance on Adapting Fenrir wasn't his strongest then, but remember when Epsilon first came onto the scene, what was Adapting playing? It was Fenrir, 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 Fenrir. This is what I think we're going to see Epsilon play, and I think we're going to see some of that old school, hello, we're still here to play, and they're going to take on the Brazilians.
Rafa going to ward over the wall there and see the entire team of Pain Gaming grouped up on the corner. Very lucky they didn't get caught out of position on that one.
Yeah, you know, I'm really curious about how this on her Xing 10 lane is going to pan out. I've actually never seen it before. I've never played it before, so I really want to see the synergy here.
Well, it should really be knock-ups into impales for the most part, right?
Yeah, good poke, yeah.
Get the impale into the walls constantly or into the pillar. It should be pretty aggressive, this lane overall, and I was waiting for Epsilon to do this.
They are against Chiron, though, who has an insane amount of sustain in lane.
Yes, which is why they're going to look, most likely why they're going to look to be aggressive so they can kill him before he heals that all up.
You discussed with me off air, like when we were like analyzing these games and talking about the gods, Chiron has the best level 2 in the Hunter role.
Yeah, he has a really good level 2. To me,
kill aggression.
He's like a neat.
But is it better than her in terms of the kill aggression?
I think they're pretty even in a way. Yeah, they're pretty even.
Wow, Anher is not the king of the dual lane fight.
Pre-5.
Pre-5, okay.
I'm really excited, honestly, again, talking about the dual lane. Raffer, sure, it's always the Sylvanas that we talk about because he was almost undefeated on that one. But it's usually the aggressive supports that come out of Raffer that are exciting. I mean, if you remember back when Epsilon started, again, it was Thanatos support. Now, it didn't work, but that's the way that he thinks about. So the Xingqian, very aggressive. And here we go, being aggressive right away.
Amelito got to go in here, and they've immediately just reset the buff. They didn't choose to try and grab that one, Epsilon. They were just out of range to actually keep the aggro of the actual thing, but they do force a reset, which I think is this really going to help them that much?
Well, the one thing they get here is they guarantee that they push first, which gives you a big advantage in lane in the 2v2.
So look at Raffer's positioning right here. He comes to lane and he stands behind these minions, just preventing Pain from even moving forward.
Yeah, Raffer and Amelito really want to set the pressure first because Chiron and Athena should probably outpush on her and Xingqian, so they did that play so they can get the first push and try to dominate the lane that way.
You can see the pressure being put on by Amelito. They're clearing it down. And look at the pressure there in the mid lane onto Schultz, and had to portal through the wall carefully after the aggression on it. And the rotation from Epsilon immediately for the purple buff that was left up.
It's a 1-minute rotation here coming out from Epsilon. I mean, aggression, is there a more harsh word for it?
I mean, you can tell that Epsilon probably talked about this pre-game. They said, hey, look, we want to shut down the Chiron pick. We're going to invade the purple. The main goal is just to stop him from taking it. They know they have the pressure in mid lane with Zeus. They're going to rotate over, take the purple.
Well, this is old school Epsilon as well. Very early aggression early on, put the pressure on the team and keep it there. And like you said, Athena, Chiron should out push. Well, they're not now. They're pinned under the tower. Meanwhile, the mid lane and jungler of Pain haven't managed to do anything, and they're getting invaded again.
Exactly, and going back to it, Epsilon is going to look for this early aggression, especially with the Fenrir pick, and they're going to continue this all while ignoring Dimmy. And then sometime later, Dimmy's going to show up as a full-leveled Chronos and just do what he can.
They're going to come up behind the opposition here from their own lane. Just clear out the minion wave once again. They're going to hit 5 relatively soon here, Epsilon, and denying Pain gaming on that Giannis, on that 4 hitting 5 for now, will slow down this global presence they've got.
And that's exactly what it's about to bring. We've been talking a lot about Epsilon being successful. And right here, the taunt from Pain, unable to really come off of it. And aggression is the name. Amelito gets the pin against the wall, but Athena will go ahead and retreat.
I love what Amelito did there. There was no way he was going to get any kills, but he just wanted to show that he's not scared. He's ready to fight at any time.
Talk about trying to get a kill, adapting those, swinging around the back now. Did meet Thor there, so they know where he is. Leaps in, aggression onto Arcanjo. Great Thor, though, will save the life of his AD carry.
That was a for sure first blood, but thankfully for Pain Gaming, we saw Athena come out. Absolute perfect.
The reaction time on Athena really saved the Chiron there. I thought it was guaranteed first blood.
Me too.
Just, anytime you're able to interrupt
They're still going for it, though.
And there's the ultimate out of
They're still going
jumps over the wall. Amelito gets first blood. Epsilon on the board.
Rafa, you better get ready to F6, buddy, because you're in a world of danger now. He will fall down as a casualty here to the tower in Athena.
Last hit goes to the tower, though. It's all about the pride.
I don't see no surrender vote. That's what he was saying on stage.
But great play by Raffer there. You know, he saw the 2 carries coming in, try to get that kill. He said, okay, Athena hit me last. Let me run into the tower, give the kill to the support.
Especially, we saw how well Schultzen did on this Giannis pick earlier. And right before Epsilon got a little fancy over in the left lane, that's what I wanted to touch on. This Giannis and a Schultzen, we're going to see more and more of this control. And he'll be able to out-rotate and respond to the adapting theoretically. So we'll see if Pain Gaming able to keep up to this high-tempo game that Epsilon is forcing them to play.
And Adapting's positioning so far on this Fenrir has been very, very strong. Very forward in the jungle consistently. We just under the red buff there. They're on time for the Harpies on the right here before the lefts even come up.
And the thing that I love is that Adapting is ganking the dual lane. The dual lane is very easy kills, especially for the Fenrir against the Chiron, and he's really putting in the pressure, making his presence felt.
When you think about it, what Pain Gaming's composition is, where the hell do you gank anywhere else?
True.
Like, you've got a Tyr? No, you're not really going to find anything against a Lawbringer. Then you've got a Giannis in mid lane, who's going to get defended by Athena anyway. So, well, let's try and pick on the horsey, you know?
Well, it's working out so far. Early on in this game, it's separated by about 1,000, but honestly, I think this is more close to tied than anything else.
I think we're going to see Adapting after he gets his speed, but probably look to invade left again, or maybe look to put more pressure left, and maybe an early Gold Fury.
Well, the speed is coming up on the right-hand side for Pain Gaming there, so and already you can see Tyr Stalker rotating over to support. Supposed star of Pain Gaming is Stalker on that Tyr once again, and we saw at the beginning of the game when he saw his camera, he went, well, if it's not broke, not fix it. He just like put his hand there, like, well, if they're going to keep giving it me, I'm going to keep picking Tyr. So far, he's doing okay in the lane against Dimmy. Dimmy will be quite happy to farm off, though, here as this Chronos.
I do like how Pain Gaming, they as you said, Hindu, if it ain't broke, Don't fix it. You stick to the same old picks. You understand what you're strong at, and this is important since Epsilon is forcing Pain Gaming to play at this up-tempo speed. It's slowed down right now. It's important for Pain to be able to bring out the picks that they're comfortable with.
You got to think about how smart the Chronos pick is, right? Stalker on tier, he really has no kill potential on the Chronos, so they're just going to leave the solo lane alone as much as possible. Let the Chronos farm and outscale the tier late game.
Well, Thor going aggressive. Invades, Pain trying to respond somehow. Mad is in the air, but he's as good as dead if he comes down aggressively thanks to that Zeus ultimate. Epsilon doesn't wind up with a kill, but they wind up with the map presence.
But how are they going to get out of that? Because it's actually Epsilon on their side of the jungle now. It's like
that's what I'm saying.
Pushing back, but Giannis going to go all the way back to back Harpies and get out.
The good thing about this is that Pain Gaming is doing what they need to do. They need to focus the Zeus in the early game. Thor scales very well with levels. He'll be able to one-shot that Zeus soon.
Well, they used ult from Thor, ult from Giannis, ult from Athena there, and they still lose the red buff as well on this left-hand side.
They lost the red buff, and just systematically, Epsilon is taking all the experience and gold off of the enemy jungle. And because of that, Thor just hit level 7.
It's relatively clean from Epsilon so far. This is what we saw through the Pro League throughout the regular season. Going around systematically destroying the jungle. Keep an eye out, though, for the sentry ward baits. I'm expecting them again, and I hope Pain Gaming did their homework so they don't get picked in the jungle, because this team will wait in the jungle for like 30, 40 seconds just to catch you. Clearing a ward.
I mean, I think what Pain Gaming needs to do is they need to target this Chronos. This is probably the easiest kill that they have on the board right now. Honor's ahead, and he's a level ahead. What they can do here is Thor dunk and chain CC the Chronos before he can get his ultimate off. And even if they want to get crazy, Athena ult too. They might lose Gold Fury.
If they do it, yeah, that's what I was going to say, Gold Fury. I mean, is it worth losing the Gold Fury for that one pick on a
They need to make something happen right now. They're falling more and more behind.
Yeah, I still think you look towards the Zeus a little bit, especially especially if you can get that ultimate out the way Pain did earlier. They forced the ultimate out of Yaman and then send him right back to lane without getting the kill. If you force the ultimate out, go away, and then come right back and he has no more ultimate, that's a perfect opportunity. Pain Gaming needs to they need to pick a mage, essentially. Pick the mid lane or the solo lane, but pick one, because we're not seeing that yet.
They were trying to find a pick at the mid Harpies there, but they were a little bit late on the rotation. 4 members were there, including Stalker, who rotated over from the solo lane, but already at Epsilon had taken that one down. The lefts are up here. We may see a fight.
We might. It's a 3-on-2 power presence to Pain Gaming, and because of that, Epsilon intelligently backs off a little bit.
I really want to see the Athena here play more up. She doesn't need to dash in. She just needs to walk up to them, make her presence felt, so Epsilon doesn't feel so comfortable in the mid lane by pushing and then rotating the mid Harpies.
The Athena player from Pain Gaming has played very, very well so far this tournament. I think some of his positioning has been on point. His engagements and actually helping out his teammates has been a real credit to him. He's a very good player.
Again, speaking about the Athena, we keep seeing the taunt being saved. You say you want to see the Athena being push up, be a little more aggressive. Well, he's saving that taunt for the Brutalize out of the Fenrir. We saw how successful that was earlier on when it saved the life real quick in the long lane, interrupting that Brutalize, taking off half or more of that damage by taunting out of that. So that might be where the support is holding that taunt a little back.
Well, globals are available now. You can see where Thor is positioned on this side of the map as well, looking for some pressure. But Epsilon playing quite far back now. They've given up the early game pressure that they had and put the pressure to Chiron. But now Chiron's hit that stride where he's almost unkillable in the lanes up.
Yeah, I mean, I love what Epsilon does. They play back when they don't have jungle support. Now that Adapting's coming over, they're going to look to be more aggressive.
Talk about aggressive. There we go. Aggression onto Schultz, and beads were forced there from him. And the wall as well from the jungler. Now the Gold Fury being pulled again, and they've got a Zeus. You know, they can try and bait this out.
I'm not sure if they're really looking to do the Gold Fury. What they're really doing is pulling it. So Pain's comms are like, oh, they're doing Gold Fury. They're doing Gold Fury. Let's peek it, and they want to look for the pick.
Do the peek, see if they actually respond in time. And if they do respond at the wrong time,
and that's a play. That's a classic plan of Epsilon right here. We'll see Rapper shove himself in the middle lane. Thor comes right on down to that Zeus ultimate. Yaman's still alive because it's a 1-on-3. Thor's in a little bit of trouble, but finds the portal. Meanwhile, all the way from the side, Emilito shows up. Shelton barely lives, but Pain makes it out alive.
Emilito's rotation was good there. He got good damage up, but if he would have just looked behind him or heard a comms call, he would have found the kill and the guy escaped.
And I mean, that's the power of Giannis, right? He had 2 portals up, and he managed to,
he got out himself,
escape.
and he also got
Thor out, exactly.
And then got out again. So really well played by Schulzen in the mid lane there. Thor, very, very lucky to get out of that one. The dunk was good, but there was just no follow-up to it.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about. With respects to the Zeus, if you want to gank him, you got to surprise him and get rid of that ultimate, because especially when you're a character like Thor, or wherever we saw Thanatos last game, if you're going to come right in the middle of something, Zeus can punish you for that, because he just drops that circle on his feet, and you're going to take 2 to 3 ticks.
Talking about punishing, though, you can see the build coming out from Dimmy here. Looks like Warlock Slash is being worked on.
Of course.
Should be finished relatively soon.
And something impressive that Pain Gaming is doing is with all the invades that Epsilon did early, they didn't crumble under the pressure. They're only not even 1,000 gold down.
Which
And
isn't
that's it.
bad. I mean, with the Gold Fury still standing, though, that's the main thing for them. And Gold Fury's not as valuable as it used to be in the early stages. But the longer this game goes on, both teams are going to turn their attention to it.
We'll take a look. We just passed the 10-minute mark, so that Fire Giant has spawned. Probably not going to be a target anytime soon. The kills are about even, and the gold as well. So Epsilon has a sort of tiny lead, but right now it's really all about Pain Gaming just sort of treading the water against this early Fenrir, early on her, just pure fight-minded.
They're treading this water very well, though, and it's a good credit to the Brazilian team. Last year, they did not look anywhere near the capability to be able to stand up against a European or North American team. And this time around, well, 10 minutes in, this has been the closest one so far.
Yeah, Pain Gaming has been nothing but impressive this game.
Adapting, and Emilito now sort of holding hands, looking for the next target. Pain Gaming going to do the same thing. Pull something out of Epsilon's playbook and make themselves known by the Gold Fury, really just looking for some of that vision.
Yeah, right now it seems like both teams are testing each other. It's like, oh, come here, let me bait you in here, but both teams are playing extremely disciplined, and I wonder when it's going to break open.
It's just so interesting because this is classic Epsilon. I mean, when you want to talk about mind games.
Well, 16 minutes. if we're going to say when is it going to break open, watch the 16-minute mark, because this is where Epsilon generally go, okay, let's flick that switch.
Exactly. They like to play these games, especially and like things like that. Dimmy shoving himself over the wall.
You can do it again.
Just not letting Stalker back. One more time. That's Dimmy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Dimmy.
Someone like Stalker know there's a ward there?
Well, see, actually, the beauty of this, Smite's a game of inches, right? By stopping that back twice, Stalker has to stay in lane.
Well,
he has no option.
He can stay in lane.
Needs those minions.
He can stay in lane, but what Dimmy did, he did give away this fact there's a ward, right? You get hit once over a wall, you're like, oh, that was lucky. You get hit twice in a row like that, you're like, okay, there's a ward
then
there.
there's no way Thor's going to come over because he knows it's warded.
So now you can see an opportunity where you'll see Thor look for a different opportunity instead of coming from that pathway to gank if he does do so.
Stalker's going to go behind his tier 1 tower and try to back. He's not even going to back anymore. Okay.
Oh, look at this, though. Pain Gaming attempts in the Gold Fury now. This is trying to put
Gold
the
Fury
pressure
down
on.
to 25%. No vision on it. Pain Gaming steals the first objective of the game. Epsilon none the wiser.
Taking
Pain
a
Gaming
tactic.
are in the lead.
That's taking a tactic out of Epsilon's book. Now, they're the ones that usually do that. And Pay's like, well, if you're going to make these plays, make sure you got things warded up, boys.
Surprise Gold Fury. Pain Gaming. Brazilians looking on point
Yeah, it's
right
actually
here.
something we haven't really been talking about, but their wards have been on point.
They really have.
Read all around the mini-map. They saw that adapting back to base, and they said, okay, let's try it. Let's try Gold Fury.
And that's a big thing. Their communications must be on point today as well, because talking about who's backed, who's not, that's when the shot caller will make the decisions of whether we try and do something. But look at this, Epsilon starting to group up and try and force something mid lane here. Not many minions for it. You can even see Emilito has made the transition as well to mid, but they're not being able to find anything just yet.
Nobody's been in the long lane for a while, really, the rotation, especially after that Gold Fury is down. There's no real, I don't want to say there's no reason to be in that long lane, but all the attention can be diverted elsewhere now that Gold Fury is down.
Yeah, and what I want to see is that Adapting has a 2-level lead on Thor. What kind of impact is he going to have in the team fights? And also, Stalker had a 2-level lead. Now it's a 1-level lead on Dimmy. I want to see what kind of impact he's going to have in these team fights.
I think by the playstyle, just so I have Epsilon there going mid lane, trying to force something. They look a bit aggravated, but the Pain Gaming got that Gold Fury for free more than anything else. They're like, okay, fine, but let's make something happen in mid.
You know, we haven't really touched on itemization, and a lot of it is because we see a lot of standard stuff, but the Anchile coming out of the solo lane tier, I absolutely love it. Now, I don't love this item all the time. This is not a one-fits-all item like a Jotuns or something. Schultzen putting in some work in the mid lane. Anchile is a perfect item for ability-based physical gods against a magical god. That sounds very specific because it is.
You're against a Zeus, you're also against a Kronos as well, so you're going to have to deal with a lot of the front line. You get cooldown reduction. Taylor loves cooldown reduction.
It's called tier 1.
Works out well for him, and, you know, I think it's a wise pickup here.
Yeah, I want to touch on what happened in the mid lane a little bit ago. Athena, she taunted the Xing 10, got him down to about 3/5 HP. That's the kind of plays they need to make more often. Make Epsilon feel uncomfortable.
We want to see Athena be more aggressive. Is that what we're saying here? Just get on the front line over and over.
Exactly, and I want you to expand on that a little bit. You've mentioned twice now in this game about feel. Earlier on, Emilito had no chance of getting the kill, but needed to show how he felt about not being
show you're not
scared.
afraid. A lot of these teams, you know, when they play against a North America or a European powerhouse like that, they play a little scared. But Athena can do that all day. She could just walk up, taunt. Giannis can use his 2, get a lot of poke off for free, and walk away.
I'll tell you, you talk about playing scared, but Pain Gaming, they ain't playing scared so far today. They took the Gold Fury away from Epsilon. They've gone at it consistently. They've not dropped too many kills. They've actually had a gold lead for, you know, a tiny
you slip up, it's going to open the window for an easy tower. So both teams being very careful to not even make the chance until the objective opens itself.
Look at that experience per minute on Stalker. That is a guy that knows this god very, very well. Against a negative lane matchup for the most part against Kronos, yeah, okay, Tyr can't really get killed by Kronos for the most part if he plays it right. But yeah, generating that much experience in that lane, he's having a very good time. And I like, because the Amsile as well, he's at least stacking and making good effect of this.
So this on-her Chiron matchup seems pretty even going on right here. We're riding along with Emilito. Who would you rather be in this duel?
Definitely Chiron. I think Chiron's a little bit better than on her. He has a little bit more utility, a cripple on his one, also a cleanse on it. And but one thing about Honor is that his pillar, his one, it's an AoE slow, area effects slow, it's a big slow. It really affects fights a lot, and a lot of people don't notice that. So we'll see how both hunters use their kit effectively.
And also the displacement, because the pillar just being there anyway, it's like an extra little, objective in the jungle.
That's really the big point here that I want to go home, and you touched on both of them when it comes to these.
Mid lane, we maybe see something going on here. Aggression from
double
Rafa.
stun coming out of adapting right on top of the mid laner and the jungler. And I think that's one of those plays you were talking about, just asserting dominance.
Well, asserting dominance, both teams looking for aggression, but neither one really finding much so far this game. It still comes down to that last Gold Fury, which is now spawning once again, just come up. So will we see Epsilon make the mistake last time and let the ward coverage slip?
Love that mid lane ward. I absolutely love that mid lane ward. This ward that we see right in the lane, this originated on one team, and then it spread throughout Europe. Then it spread to NA Europe, and now we see the Brazilians use it.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you so much information. A lot of times the mid laner and the jungle say, oh, mid wave's push, we could just rotate to the right lane without them knowing. But now Pain Gaming knows, and can capitalize on it.
It's also because the sentries get dropped in the jungle at the corner, so if you waste a ward there, the sentry's going to clean up. You're not going to sentry that position. Look at this, though. Epsilon, they want to do Gold Fury. They're trying to pull people in. Rafa and adapting well away of it.
Yeah, that's actually a technique.
Oh, Stalker just went, what up, Dimmy? I'm taking your blue. I did not expect that.
The tables have turned. Fearless power cleave right into Dimmy, doing a little bit of damage on top. And this is a battle. The stun is strong, but not strong enough. We'll go to the other side, and Thor's going to come right on down, looking for Rafa.
No, he's not. He held it in the air instead, went defensively. Changed his mind on that one.
Great discipline by Pain Gaming. I mean, you could have easily landed on that. Oh, Raffer's leap is down. But if you saw in the corner, Yamin and Emilito were waiting for him to land.
Look at a man fight over.
We come right on back to the solo lane. You see, still raging on. Stalker and Dimmy. This is a grudge match.
It is a grudge match over there, and Dimmy's having a really hard time up against Stalker. But although adapted, jumping in, putting pressure on Schultzen. Very, very low. He will fall down to Emilito. Rafa gets out of danger on the backside. Just about 1-0 exchange.
Again, though, you want to talk about this Pain Gaming team treading water or doing well against what Epsilon does. You saw how many abilities were forced out, and Raptor being forced out by the Chiron himself.
And that's just a product of Pain Gaming's wards again. They have all the wards by the Gold Fury side. He saw iRaptor rotating somewhat unsafe way, and he hit the skill shots.
Exactly, and about those wards. So we saw Pain Gaming pull the Gold Fury with Epsilon Sentry underneath it. They didn't clear it, and you see where this red ward is, where it was, right underneath. It was just out of range of the Sentry. Tells you two things. One, Pain Gaming knows the exact width of the
Saludos para Jane Ureta. Estamos ahí tratando de tirar más códigos. Pero váyanse nomás al otro lado si quieren, ya, no hay problema. Hola, Layo 17.
Game of the day so far. We're approaching 20 minutes in this one now between the two. 2-2. Look at the golden experience graphs. Relatively even heads up. Like that's nothing on the backwards and forwards.
Yeah, I mean the game is so even. In a game like this, one mistake can break it over for a team and start snowballing.
Especially when the game gets longer too. You drop 2 kills and all of a sudden you lost a Gold Fury, maybe even 2 towers. The gold will add up and put pressure on adapting. Gonna go back and take his red buff now. Give it over to Yamin once again as Rafa on the front side clearing out wards in the jungle. Gonna get focused down a little bit there and push back and lose that sentry ward.
Rafa, not afraid to stare down 4 players, but maybe afraid to jump in. So he plays a little safe. Adapting, though, not quite afraid. Jumps right on in, gets a stun, grabs one in the mouth. Not enough to kill. That is 2 ultimates down from Epsilon, and they get nothing for it.
They don't get anything yet. Schultzen on the backside puts some pressure on Emilito. Rafa in alone there. Sorry, not Rafa. Yeah, it is. In alone over there. So Emilito still play pressure on mid. Oh,
beautiful.
Then Yamin will pick up the kill and secure it for the team.
That's the 1-2 punch if I've ever seen it, and one more from around the back. Rafa takes out the Athena.
Rafa. Now he's in trouble. It's the fearless from Stalker with the rotation. Kill goes to Arcanjo. And Chiron's starting to get a bit of steam going for himself.
Yeah, but I got to talk about Emilito. I'm really impressed with his play. A lot of the last 3 kills have been because of Emilito rotating.
I agree. He's been everywhere. He's rotated every single time.
He hit almost, I think, 7 out of 8 on her ulti pillars, and that is not easy to do, especially on Giannis.
And now he's put the pressure on once again. Adapting out on the right-hand side, being aggressed on by Stalker, and adapting under pressure from Stalker. He does have the ultimate available. He's going to go for it. Does find the connection. One more hit. No, the jump away is good. And he's even going to pop the ult to disengage as well. Dimmy helps to save his jungler's life.
Adapting puts himself in trouble by trying to be fancy and going for the stun on somebody 4 levels higher than him. But he still manages to find a way out thanks to some good zigzags. Fantastic play. Honestly, out of Adapting, yeah.
Well, Adapting's seen as one of the best players in the world, and Stalker just went, all right, let's fight.
Yep.
And Adapting, little lack of respect there, I guess.
That's what we were talking about, the confidence level.
Yeah, and you know, it's an interesting game. Both junglers are actually struggling this game.
They are.
Lowest level,
Emilito's
close to lowest level on the team. And
Emilito's not level 17, up there on his own against 2 for the most part, with Raffen following in. He's really putting the pressure on this game.
I think this game is a good notification of how Epsilon is not just one player. It's very easy to look at how Epsilon has played over the past season and say, yeah, well, good, you have Adapting, good for you. But they're still keeping up right now, and it's because it's a team effort.
I mean, anyone on that team can carry. Even Raffer on his support role can carry. He makes amazing plays all the time.
You give him a Xing Qian, I think he could carry too.
I think so.
So pressure on mid lane once again from Epsilon, just pushing it in. No real signs from Pain Gaming just yet towards the Gold Fury, which is where Adapting's hanging around now. And he's actually going to meet Chiron doing the purple. Don't think he's going to go for it, though.
So mid tower is as good as down. Is it important for Epsilon to take that down as quick as possible, or do they want to leave that for a while?
They don't need to force it. I mean, it's going to go down no matter what. Maybe when a fight breaks out and everyone retreats, they can sneak it, but...
They forced a lot out of shots, and then they got his ultimate and the beads early on. He came around the back and got picked out of position. That ult's on cooldown, his beads are on cooldown. Epsilon should be looking for the fight, for the Gold Fury here if they can. Try and put the pressure on. They're actually looking for the pick of Stalker.
Pain Gaming repeatedly looking for the flank. Stalker in some trouble thanks to the damage out of Dimmy, but he'll be safe enough to find himself underneath the tower. And I think that was the story right there. Pain Gaming tried to flank with a Giannis, didn't work out. They tried to flank with a Tier, didn't work out. But importantly, it drags Epsilon out into the middle lane. It's no longer a fight about this. Adapting still being aggressive. Dimmy gets the last hit, but Arcangel makes it pay. Adapting gets one more as well. Here he is, gets one in the mouth. Basic, there it is. One more, down he goes. Stalker is on the bad side of the double kill, going the way of Adapting.
Tier 2 tower being pushed down now with a new wave coming in on top of that. They should be able to bring this one down because it's only Schultz alive to try and do anything. No, sorry, no one's allowed to try and do anything.
Yeah, it's such a great team fight by Epsilon. What they do is they go in, and once their cooldowns are down, they run away until their cooldowns are back up, forcing Pain into an awkward position.
Absolutely love this. You want me to say it? It's the stuff after the stuff. They get the kill, immediately tower, fire giant. No conversation. This team knows what they want.
Thor's ult is down. Giannis is dead long enough. This is what he said. The longer the game goes on, the longer the respawns are. And Epsilon, they knew what to do. They got 2 towers in the end of that engagement and the fire giant.
The smallest window. That was probably risky. Raffer was low. Some of the players were low. They only had 3 out of 5, right? But they knew, Epsilon knew they wanted to jump on in there as soon as they opened up the window the slightest amount.
They knew it was free. The one person they needed to worry about was the Giannis.
Exactly.
If Giannis was up, he could have used his ultimate through space and time to get to the fire giant right away to contest it.
I love the response. Good response here from
promote or read the kills, but that's a different story. These teams are separated by about 5,000 gold. That is a team fight in a Gold Fury.
Yeah.
That's all that is. That is so easy.
Exactly. Pain Game is definitely still in it, and they have 2 players level 20. If that Giannis hits level 20, they're right back in.
Where was that tower?
One person to talk about, though, in this game is Yamin. He's very quiet last game, but he had a good performance last game. No one really spoke about him. This game, yet again, Yamin, 4-0-5. He's doing work on this Zeus consistently. His position has been pretty good for the most part. He's been picked once, potentially, but he got out of trouble with the support of his team.
I'm still talking about Dimmy. Still talking about Dimmy on his classic Chronos pick. A lot of these kills have wound up being 90% Dimmy damage, and then Yamin hits the trucker horn.
I mean,
you know, the detonate gets the kill.
Round the back, though, here we go. Fearless misses from Stalker. He has to disengage,
Great
but he gets
stun.
gunned down. The weave brings him back all the way in from Rafa, picking up the kill, and now adapting. Finds one, the duck from Thor, though, zones him out. The Phoenix is still down.
That's a big deal, though. The loss of tier early on in that situation is going to leave Pain Gaming without a lot of control options. And because of that, Epsilon able to take out a couple of members. 2 members dead on the side of Pain Gaming. 2 Phoenixes are already down. This third one will inevitably fall right here. Beautiful hit. And there's adapting going right underneath the Titan.
Emilio dived in, and now we're going to see 1 kill, though. Athena did find 1, but Yamin secures Arcanjo, the Chiron. Meanwhile, Rafa zoning further.
I don't know if Epsilon can do this. I don't think they can dive this.
As soon as Adapting died, there's no chance.
You would have done that, though.
I mean, I would have.
You would have done it.
Yeah, I would have done it.
Easy.
I would have followed my jungle.
We've seen that happen.
Yeah, definitely.
No, never.
I think there's an old classic Allied clip of you trying to solo a Titan, and then...
I don't remember that.
I'm actually excited that we're going to see Pain Gaming tomorrow because they did win the 1 game. They will move on to face off in the quarterfinals. And I'm excited to see what they can take from these 2 games they've played today. They've looked really good overall. They've got things to learn from. They're not out of it, but it's more, you know, it's edging that way with all 3 Phoenixes down. It's a tough road.
Yeah, I mean, I expect Epsilon here. Fire Giant's about to be up. Expect Epsilon to take a free Fire Giant and then look for the kill.
So you look for the steal, right? As Pain, you've got...
Pain has to. Pain has to.
You've got Yarnasul, you've got Thoral, you've got Athena. Surely one of you might be able to make it in. And teleport from Tyr as well.
And don't forget, Chiron goes through walls. This team that Pain Gaming has set up, I mean, what else could you want? Maybe a chalk silence?
Well,
maybe I just wanted to say chalk.
Here we go.
I don't know, but the Fire Giant being started up right now by Epsilon.
Schultzen, it's on you, buddy, because I don't think anyone else is going to get there in time. Here comes Stalker.
Tyr being pinged out, walking right over the ward. Already down. Now he's in trouble. Fearless power clean, but it's on the wrong target. That's a support. Has to use the flip to get out of there. Raffer, with a beautiful wall against him, is stopped in his tracks.
Thor's wall was very good then, but it may be a little bit too late for the boys. Left-hand Phoenix will respawn soon. You'll see that start to flash in the top left-hand corner. And already Epsilon heading over there to make sure they take it down again.
Red buff goes the way of Yamin as well. So Epsilon taking everything possible on the map right now as we hit the half-hour mark. It looks like Epsilon Pain Gaming has done a good job of sort of stopping the bleeding, but now they're 11,000 gold down. 3 Phoenixes dead as well. And that looks like 1 dead Tyr, but he finds a portal to get himself out.
Well, he finds it into Rafa, but now waiting for the fire minions to pour through. You can see Epsilon push mid lane. Dimmy on the right, pushing that one in too. They're just going to slowly but surely poke down this Fire Giant here. Pain Gaming have got to commit soon.
And Titan's low, Titan's 50, Titan's 20, Titan's dead. This one going the way of the European number 2 seed. It is Epsilon.
Epsilon with a decent performance there, but please keep clapping for Brazil as well, because those guys, they are the future. I can really see it.
I mean, Pain Gaming did everything they could early on to really stop and continue how they wanted to. It really just was that one pinnacle moment where Epsilon just turned everything around.
Yeah, I was super impressed by Pain Gaming. They played a great game. Epsilon showed that they had a little bit more experience in the team fights, and they took it from there.
But they slowed Epsilon's game plan back at them.
20 minutes, it was even.
They got the Gold Fury, first of all, and then Epsilon known for around 60 minutes, really turning up. And it was Pain that were like, no, you're not doing that. And they played the game plan well.
Exactly. What was most exciting for me was Epsilon started that hot tempo, and Pain said, no, we're going to play at a different tempo the way we want to, and that's exactly what happened. Ultimately goes the way of Epsilon, but why don't we take a look at how Golden Boy and the rest of everybody break down the game.
Thank you so much, guys. what a game. It was around 15 minutes in, I would say, and it was still 1-1. And then finally you start to see some action happen, even though it went 2-2. And then that's when things started to really act up. But Pain Gaming actually brought it early to Epsilon. But Epsilon, good job for them to hold it off.
Fantastic performance from both teams. And I do want to talk about that. 15 minutes, I believe it was into the 19 or 20 minute mark when it was dead even. And there was actually a point in the game where I felt like Pain, if they had been the aggressors, they could have won. But I think they weren't scared like the other teams were. They were timid, though. You could see it. There was opportunities that they had to dive, but they played very passively. And shout-outs, though, to Epsilon, and most notably Yaman, honestly, for getting a lot of poke damage off and not allowing Pain to be the aggressors.
Yeah, it seemed that Pain just couldn't quite find the right opportunity to go in. They were looking, but they just wouldn't pull the trigger. They were just short of pulling the trigger, and if they would have just gone in a little bit harder, they really could have turned that game around, because it was completely even 20 minutes in against Epsilon Esports of all teams.
To me, it really felt like that it was, they were there, and they were even, and they were getting their farm, and it was all, it was the best farming that we've seen out of an international team, in my opinion, but they weren't, they weren't actually ever aggressive. Everything they got was counterfighting. And eventually, when you're even like that, you have to finish, you have to start going aggressive.
And they had the aggressive team, too. They had 3 globals. They had Thor, they had Giannis, Athena, and they also had a tier, which, picking up teleport and stuff, but still, nothing from them.
Yeah, let's actually talk about that Logitech First Blood. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up here in just a second. On her, again, just it was actually pretty cool to see on her, because we didn't see a lot of on her in 2015 Smart World Championships, but pretty cool to see this here, at least for myself.
I think this First Blood might have been a little bit of disrespect, honestly, out of them. This was a very early tower dive in order to get that First Blood, but it also resulted in a kill back actually on Raffer, so it was a 1-for-1 trade there for the First Blood.
Yeah, good work there, without a doubt. And all right, so talking about a couple of the dives that had happened in that game, especially that first one, and even that awesome Chiron snipe was actually really cool. I saw the chat just lost their mind when that happened. Overall, though, this was, and if you take a look at some of the stats here, I mean, it did kind of inflate a little bit there in favor of Yaman. He just way past even hitting the text so of win. We get it. You did a good job, buddy.
I mean, Zeus took a nerf, but still, like this god right now is just. He has some of the most, if not the highest birth.
Venga, dígalo usted a la gente del streaming que vengan para acá.
Si vienen para acá le van a regalar gemas.
Es de verdad. Si usted viene para acá se va a hallar gemitas. Así de simple. Estoy de acá, es de la gente. Se fueron un poquito, ¿no es cierto?, a comer algo. Porque empezó a llegar el sol, culiado. Pensaban que iba a llover, estaban todos con paraguas, pero se dieron cuenta que no iba a pasar eso. Oye, hay 11 personas, yo no sé cómo todavía esa gente está ahí, weón. Está ahí viendo la weá, 11 personas. Y más encima sufren igual que nosotros cuando se da toda la mierda.
Imagínate que yo lo dormí toda la noche y estoy aquí desde las 9 de la mañana.
Qué terrible. Oye, pero ¿quieren más código o no? Yo puedo seguir dándoles de los mismos códigos que estoy dando.
By quite a bit, and he was landing his skills. We saw the awesome ultimate, which led to the 2 to get a kill there over in the Hunter lane, but he couldn't do it by himself. He needed the rest of his team to really give him the initiations with the Athena and the Thor, to get in there, and they weren't doing it.
Yeah, full shout-outs to Arcanjo. He played phenomenally in that Hunter role. I'm not necessarily saying he outplayed Emilito, but he definitely played the best on his team that was consistent. He was the one, it seemed, that was looking for stuff, and we saw Schultz, and you saw how low damage it was, 6.7k or 6.8k around there.
Yeah.
It just, you could even see it in his positioning. He was always so far away from his team. Thor dunked in on 4 while Epsilon was actually diving that tower. That's when Epsilon first started getting the lead. They got that 5-for-1. Thor dunks into the back line, and Schultz...
Vamos a tratar de salir de Chile para hacer también eventos allá. ¿De dónde usted, Luis Fernández? ¿De dónde es? Cuéntale a la gente que está acá. Mira, es de Colombia. Vamos a tener que irnos a Colombia a hacer eventos.
Pero ya tienen la level up.
Vamos, es que quizás no dan cosas ahí mismo. Vamos a tener que ir nosotros a dar cosas. Vamos a tener que ir a dar. Yo no me molesta ahí a dar en Colombia. Yo doy nomás.
De repente ya con unos ladrillos así.
Puedes dar.
Te traigo unos ladrillos de los mágicos.
¿De Venezuela? No, pero Venezuela, y si nos volvemos, weón. A mí me da miedo, weón. No, pero podría ser, ¿ah? Venezuela también. Hagan otro sorteo, estoy atrás tuyo. Coto. Oye, ¿podría ser otro sorteo, no, Barry? ¿Qué decís tú? ¿Un chilteán podría ser? ¿Un sorteo? ¿Otro sorteo por un chilteán? O sea, un concurso. ¿Sí? Dale con la weá, la pregunta del staff, weón. Oye, pero esa persona quiere que vayamos para su casa, weón. Nati Schmidt dice. Quiere que vayamos para su casa, weón. No sé, weón, tiene un perro ahí. No, un hurón, no sé qué weón. Yo solo quiero un code.
¿No escucha esa gente, no?
Sí, ¿no está escuchando?
Sí. Chúpenlo.
Subió, dijiste chúpenlo y subió a la 14. Oh, tenés que decir de nuevo chúpenlo para que suba.
Había 11 personas, yo dije chúpenlo y subió a 14.
Hola chicos y chicas.
Puta, va a bajar ahora, mira.
Van a bajar, se van a empezar a ir.
Cabrón, aquí no regalas esquema.
Mira, Führer Kawaii dice que quiere un Poseidón.
Ya cabrón, vamos a regalar un Poseidón barba negra para la gente que está aquí en el evento. ¿Ya? ¿Sí?
Puede ser un chiste ya mejor.
No.
Que no lo tengo, porque ya tengo el barba negra.
Oye, yo estoy dando premio, no es lo que te pongas.
Hola chicos.
Los más no se lo merecen.
Mira, subió uno. Ya, muéstrame la tabla, ¿Qué tabla?
Oh, ahí están los códigos. Sácale foto.
Son puro tigre.
No importa, los vendo.
A lo bueno de ustedes, ¿eh? A ustedes, chicos. Ah, la tabla de actividades. Hagamos, adivina el paquete vos.
Ya, ¿y de dónde sacas el paquete vos?
El tarot como no. ¿Dónde está? Acá abajo tengo el paquete vos. ¿Sí? ¿En Wikipedia? Sí.
Bien. Hagamos el pack de los paquetes de 12. ¿Los tenéis en español, cierto? Ya. Sí, no, sí, si están. Pero tenéis que bajar, baja.
Déjalo en mute.
Baja. Los pollitos dicen.
¿Qué?
Ah, van a mostrar los nuevos juegos.
Ok. ¿Cómo pasó esta wea?
¿Cuál?
¿Me estás escuchando?
No, pues sí, aquí, pero si aquí están los del stream. Oh, dijo lo mismo que yo.
Ay, ¿por qué todo Dios me crees? Súperla.
A ver, ve cuánto subió.
14.
No se mantuvo.
¿Cuántos hay en Casa Coca Cola? Llegaron como 40 personas, pero no sé cuántos habrán ahora.
Ahí 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Como 10, 20, 30, 40, 7.000.
La galería llena.
Oye, ¿les tiro otro código? ¿Ya que están ahí o no?
Se me ganaron un lindo código. La gente que nos sigue se merece un código. ¿Por qué bajaron ¿Por qué habla y la gente baja?
Porque tú estás hablando, pues, weón. Tú te ponías a hablar y la gente se va. ¿Voy a hacer, weón? La gente se va por el juego sorpresa de tiro. Sorpresa de tiro. ¿Cómo se llama el Jaime? ¿En serio? Oye, por fin Barry tiene pega, así que se va a rajar.
Tiene que pagar piso. Vengo aquí, vengo cargado. Voy a regalar 200 gemas.
Mire, van a regalar 200 gemas.
Para la gente de ahí y la gente de acá.
200 gemas.
A cada uno. No.
Ya voy a llamar a mi viejo.
Chiquillos, los que llegan mañana, traigamos platitos para que hagamos un asado. Miren, ahí tenemos la máquina, la cebollita. Hola. Hola, paso, sí.
Le puse un código nuevo, ¿eh? Puse un código nuevo. ¿Cómo estás?
Mañana los chiquillos tengan dinero para que hagamos un asadito entre todos. Ahí para el almuerzo de las 3.
Le puse un código nuevo para la
Yo hago el
gente.
asado.
Oye, 13, me gusta ese número. Ahí le puse un código nuevo recién. Recién va a aparecer en cualquier momento. Manda el código en el chat. Ay, pero que son pajeros. No, porque que lo vean ahí en la foto, más dificultad. Más dificultad.
Podríamos ser más pesados y ponerlo desordenado.
16 personas. No, para que no, pero desordenado esa wea no. Mala onda.
Hola chicos, no es por hacerles mal, pero dificultad.
Ya vamos a hacer concurso, ¿no?
Ya, déjame a mí la parte de elegir.
¿Concurso de qué? ¿Va a ser concurso de gemas, de skin? ¿Por qué le crees a él? No le creas. Es mentira, míralo. Vamos a regalar, no sé. ¿Qué vamos a regalar, Barry? Mira, ella quiere el Baco. Ella quiere un Baco. Puede ser bailar o puede ser el de lo adivinar el voice pack.
Ya adivina el voice pack.
Ya.
Déjame ver esa parte, yo quiero.
Espérate, voy a bajarle un poquito el volumen a la transmisión oficial, ¿ah?
Yo te digo poner mouse.
¿Dónde chucha el...? ¿Dónde chucha la bueno, lo veo?
Izquierda, baja, derecha. Derecha, ahí, izquierda, ahí.
Buena, Nur.
Baja un poco, ahí. Ya, ahí está.
A bajarlo un poquito, ¿ah?
Vamos a hacer un concurso de voice pack por...
Debes presionarme. Mis enemigos esperan su juicio.
¡Qué mierda! Concha tu madre, casi me cago.
Tira otro, a ver cómo suena. Tira otro.
Vamos, si vamos a tirar...
No puedes ganar. Por cada subalterno que sabes.
Yo estaba probando.
¿Qué deberíamos?
No, mira ahí, todo adivinaron. Anubis. Un código de Taina Arconte. Buena, podría ser ese, ¿eh?
Sí.
Se lo vamos a mandar, ¿eh? Se lo vamos a escribir.
Ahorita no, joder. Soy a 16.
Para que le regalo un pulsador y un trato Arconte y lo sorteamos.
Hagámoslo entretenido.
Te llamo al tiro.
La gente quiere participar en
la cola del Kirio.
Hagámoslo entretenido.
Falta el gato.
Hacerle bullying al Kirio.
Yo quería ser king. Mire ese Coca Cola.
¿Hasta cuánto está? Sale como 5 lucas. Bueno, no me digáis que no está, yo te voy a retar. Dame 30 lucas. Te voy a retar, Kirio.
¿Puedo inventar una temática para este modo de adivinar el voice
Mira,
pack?
la gente piensa que va a concursar ahí.
Ay, chiquititos
Cositos,
más
si
lindos.
aquí tienen que concursar. Nosotros les vamos a ir tirando cositas al streaming, ¿ya?
Bueno, yo tengo una idea.
Ahí puse un arconte cosito tierno.
Deberíamos dejar a la gente que quiere participar. Y que el que quiera responder, escuche y tenga que ir a... Esa es la tarea. El primero que la agarre fue el que tiene derecho a responder.
Puede hacer condiciones físicas, no te has mirado, weón.
Por eso, ¿veis?
No te he mirado.
Ya, el que la chuta la botella.
Son maricón, weón, son malos adentro, weón.
Esa es la idea, porque que la gente le cueste.
Que haga una fila y se adivina.
Ay, tú ves que hay código de...
No, queda clasificado. Queda clasificado.
¿Ah? No le tienen más códigos a gente malagradecida, sinvergüenza, malas personas que no vinieron, te apuesto que están en su casa viendo el streaming fresquecitos.
No me tires baba, amigo.
Estoy enojado.
No he dormido nada. Hermano, este sueño ni cagando.
¡Sale!
¡Mira, una nube! Ah, mira, WebGL está por acá. Está ahí arriba, ¿no? El WebGL. Yo no lo veo.
Esa es la idea.
Se ve arriba.
Sí, se ve.
Lo voy a tratar de sacar. Si me indicáis, ¿me voy a indicar tú, Pablo? Yo no veo ni una mierda desde aquí.
Ya, mira, sube. Tipo, si hay algo que les cuente que tenés una venta con Kelly, full armadura. Ahí te que ignorar. Te lo cuento. Y más para ti.
Bueno. Estamos frescos en la casa, sí. Hace 200 grados de calor. Estamos esperando una lluvia ácida, pero no llegó.
¿Qué pasó?
¿Y ahí cómo lo vas a hacer?
No sé, pues cómo iban a hacer. Kirio se le ocurrió una wea estúpida.
Sí.
Pero...
Kirio quería que todos corrieran.
Kirio quería ver a la gente correr, weón. ¿Qué wea más mala gente?
Entretenido.
Pero corre tú.
Corre tú, da el ejemplo tú.
Da el ejemplo tú. ¿Ya? Y la gente que te vea en la casa. Espérate, vamos a cambiar el. Para que la gente te vea. Vamos a cambiar la wea. Ya. Ahí, para que la gente te vea cómo voy a correr, ya. Corre nomás. Sin caerse, sí, pues.
Pero tienes que poner un paquete de pop.
El balán, el que le chupa la boca.
Ah, tengo que poner un paquete de
voy
ya.
Te
pongo el paquete.
El paquete.
El enemigo es fuerte, pero yo soy más.
Mirar la pantalla. Mira cómo se le dio hasta la alcancía de Navidad. Anjur.
Benjur.
Sí, está probando. Ya. Hazla de nuevo. Hazla de nuevo. Ya, pues hazla de nuevo. Ven para acá, pues. No se fome, weón.
El que agarre mi
De nuevo, no quedó claro.
No se quieren mover, ¿no es cierto? Sí. Sí, lo tenemos claro. Se cayó la lata, sí. Se cayó la lata, bueno, tengo.
Yo creo que con este calor, si me levanto, se me va a despegar la piel.
Es hora de cazar.
Casi se cae.
Muy bien. Ya, otra más porque a la gente no le quedó claro. Otra más ya, para que la gente ahora sí sepa cómo hacerlo.
Grábalo, weón, dura más.
Oh, pero mira, la gente se vuelve loca. La gente está respondiendo, weón.
Que vengan corriendo hasta acá mejor.
Si quieren corriendo, si llegan acá a la Casa Coca le damos.
Le doy un código al que viene corriendo para acá.
Mira, él, ahí. ¿Dónde está él? ¿Se ve?
No se ve.
Sí se ve, weón. De hecho, él.
Le doy un código al que viene corriendo a su casa para acá. No, de tu casa. No, yo no me veo. Fue por tu casa y
sí, ahí se ve. Ya, vamos de nuevo para que la gente sepa, cómo es.
Mi sangre fluye fría.
Muy bien. Pero en la última, porque no se notó bien, no se vio en el...
Para que esté intentando hacer con el cable.
Ya, wey.
No, que no me interesa que
ya, pero de todas maneras no vamos a hacer ese concurso, ¿eh? Era para que ustedes supieran en los días que vienen cómo hacer más o menos. Mire, ese weón murió, se fue a morir allá. Era para que sepa que es difícil la weá, ¿no?
Elijamos 5 personas, po.
Elijamos 5 personas al azar.
No, elijamos 3 personas. Porque creo que hay 3 personas al azar.
¿3 personas al azar?
No, 3 personas, de las que están aquí.
Ya, por eso.
¿Por qué 5? No, es que con 5 mucha gente, si tal, hay que levantar la mano.
5 personas.
O mucho.
No, que levanten la mano. Por ejemplo, cuando yo ponga las voces, se pongan de espaldas así ya. Y que digan, por ejemplo, ya les hablarán por el sonido. Y esto levantan la mano, así. Yo está. Después que levante la mano, responde.
Ah, ya, sí, con otra vez.
Sí, de espalda.
Ya, 5 entonces.
Yo creo que 3, si me
ya 3 entonces.
Como 9, ¿no?
Sí, va a aparecer un Kevin de repente.
Pero los que están adentro, no hay gente adentro, ¿no es cierto?
¿Hay gente adentro? No creo.
No hay nadie.
¿Se fueron ya?
Es que vieron el primer sur y se fueron de ese final.
Sí. Puede ser. Se fueron a llorar.
No, Ixuru, confía en ti.
O como dice a Yokirazo, compré Poglos.
Se supone que era el elegido.
Que sean 6, dicen. Que
¿Sí?
que sean 6.
Sí. Oye, si en verdad viene alguien de los que están en el streaming y dice yo soy tanto y nos dice yo soy, por ejemplo,
Su nickname. Su
no sé,
nickname es de
Luis
la wea
Fernández,
fake.
José Lío,
¿Qué le voy a regalar?
yo le voy a dar gema y el código de TIR por venir.
Ya, muy bien.
Ya.
Ya, el que venga ahora. No, pero weón.
El que venga
termina
ahora.
a las 7 aquí, weón.
El que venga ahora, Aliadores Yáñez. ¿Cuál?
Qué maraco. El oro ya.
Con el abrazo, yo no digo si viene, pero hay que venir corriendo. No, pero para mañana.
No, mañana ya no llegan, weón. Ya no llegan. Quedan como 20 minutos. Quedan 20 minutos.
El que llegue antes que yo mañana le doy el código.
Pues vaya, compadre, acá afuera me regalar ese código.
Oye, pero vos venís a abrirla, weón. Qué terrible este weón. ¿Cómo puede tanto tiempo libre, weón?
¿Quién llegó primero?
Qué terrible.
Qué buenas noches.
Oye, recuerden los que vienen, que van a ir mañana, tienen que pasar el código, por favor. ¿A nadie le faltó aquí el código?
¿A mí?
¿En serio me estás jugando?
No, lo vendí el mío.
¿Este qué weón? ¿Por qué no le decía algo?
No, porque.
Ah, el código del cano del
Puta qué weón.
¿A él le sale bien?
No, el código
de la entrada.
¿Qué no tiene TIR? ¿Qué no tiene TIR? ¿Cómo tiene TIR?
Yo lo tengo.
¿Pero me pasaste el mail o no?
Pase el mail al de para que.
Yo voy a mandar por mail los tips que faltan.
De verdad, yo quiero el código de tiro. No lo tengo. ¿Qué no tiene que
No, pues igual.
Ay, pensé que.
Ah, ya tampoco te ya.
¿Qué pasa?
Como dije, vamos a invitar a 3 personas.
¿Por qué 3?
Porque 3 personas nuevas, porque son 9. Cosa que hay.
Oye, ahora somos 18 personas, éramos 13. Hermoso. Preguntan dónde está Huitzilo, ¿dónde está Huitzilo?
Huitzilo está en Concepción, llega mañana.
En avión.
Mañana.
En avión creo que llega, sí que está por ahí que se me
Tienes un lag mental.
Nosotros podemos entregar las cosas al tiro que nos mandan y que tenemos ahí.
O sea, lo que tenemos guardado podemos entregar ahora.
Sí,
porque lo que nos habían mandado no llegó en el camión desde Bolivia.
Venía un barco y no alcanzó a llegar.
No venían los boides con los papeles.
No pasó aduana la wea.
Ya, el concurso va a ser el siguiente. Ya, ¿cuántas personas van a ser?
A ver, veamos cuántas personas son.
20.
Pon uno de tiro. Oye, pero he puesto tiro todo el rato.
No, les porque hay más códigos.
Pongan una aquí una vez.
3, dicen 3. Dividí un RR3 ahí. RR3. 3.
Te elige uno, no, elige tú uno de esos.
Sí, porque ya después de esto no nos vamos a tener que ir, pues, weón. ¿No es cierto? Deja mirar la hora, pues, mierda. Sí, ya no vamos a tener que ir ya. Después. Ver la hora. Hoy tenemos 20 personas. 20 personas en streaming. La gente
¿Puedo elegir a quién yo?
No, tú no. Ah.
Elige uno.
Tú no puedes elegirte a ti mismo, ¿ah? Te digo el tiro.
¡Hijo el chispa!
No, eso fue lo mismo.
No,
Ya,
tú
a
miren
ver.
no. Tú miren no.
¿Qué se popular?
Así te tapé.
Mira, por ahí hay que cabrón nuevo.
Yo me ofrezco.
No tienes tiras así con cabrón nuevo.
Que parece que nadie quiere ir.
Uno cada uno.
Que no escucha a nadie. ¿Quién quiere ir?
Mira, qué bien lo que dijo ese hombre, Dead Snake. Oye, weón, si quieren códigos, vayan a la web, dejen de mendigar. Qué bien lo que dice. Me gusta ese hombre. Nosotros vendemos gemas también desde acá, por si quieren venir.
Hoy están en partida Fanatic contra Enemy.
Oh, ya, entonces vamos a tener que poner la web.
Ya, no, pues está sacando rápido, sí, antes que termine la parte.
Ya.
Eligen uno más.
Ahí está tú.
¿Quién más? Ya.
¿A quién eligieron?
Yo elegí.
¿Ya? Ah, pero ¿cuántos son? ¿Cuántos son?
¿Ah, que yo?
¿4? ¿4? Ya, 4. ¿Estos están elegidos? ¿4 suficiente? ¿O queréis uno más? ¿Uno más? ¿Uno más? Ellos 4 ya cagaron. Cagaron, pues, weón.
El primero que cache pared, te queda tan nada y dice, ¡ya ese! Juanito. Barry, si lo digo yo, no, tú no puedes concursar. Si no te vas a excluir, mañana te contesto.
¿En español o en inglés lo dejo?
En español. Ya usted ahí levanta la bajada en español, ¿ya?
Ya, ¿pongo yo?
Sí. Miren para allá.
Yo corrí.
Tienen que levantar la mano, ¿eh? Cuando lo escuchen, digan ahí.
Y la mano completa.
Te enseñaré la guerra.
Ya, a ver. Ares. ¿Era Ares? Era Ares.
Es un profesional.
Felicidades. A ver, elijamos otro más para que sea para que haya final.
Ya, otro más por aquí.
Usted ¡clasificó! Ya, veamos el siguiente. Atento al oído. Hay que lavárselo para que puedan participar. Ojalá el estudio sea para hoy. ¿Cómo está?
Dejarás esta batalla con más orificios que con los que llegaste.
¿Artemis? ¿Es Artemis? Sí, es Artemis. ¡Felicidades! ¡Se lo ganó! No, mentira. A ver, ustedes dos, permiso chiquillos, son unos grandes perdedores. Un aplauso para ellos por participar. Muchas gracias. Ya. Ahora vamos a poner uno y este de frente. Este se va a llevar. ¿Qué cree usted? ¿Y usted? Chinchan, ya vamos a hacer un chinchan para que sea justo. Ya, cáncer acá. Dejad que bien limpio el oído, pueden escuchar bien. Cuando quiera mi contertulio. Adelante, Juanito. Sí, cuando quiera, aquí los sabios están listos para estar.
Ningún dios o demonio puede derrotarme.
Rabana. ¿Es Rabana? ¡Correcto! ¡Se lo llevó!
¡Correcto!
¿Quién se gana?
¿Tú le vas a pasar? Ya. Oye, ¿se anotaron, no? Sí, están andando buscando pantalla. Todos son tirs, perfecto. Oye, a ver, déjame revisar.
Suele por lo menos.
Sí,
Suele por delante.
No.
Es que quiero subir directo y solo subir el máximo.
¿En serio?
Sí.
Pero no veo yo el clic del mouse. Ah, ya, sí.
Pero no dudas.
One of the few gods that hasn't been touched in such a long time, yet is still a god that's been in the game. One of the first gods in the game. I mean, it's just the fear no evil creates so much space for your team that you can do so many things with it. And right here, with that basket and the humpback pickup, that's definitely targeted away from the
Vamos a ponerlo de que comience. Vamos a poner más tira. Vamos a ver si podemos poner un par.
No, si no llega a 20, que no.
Si van en 20 ya.
Entonces 22. Ya, entonces 22 para regalar tu tiro. Empieza mi tarjeta.
Mira, dijeron no, guanco, weón, qué mierda.
Ah, bien.
Oye, voy a tratar de...
Así que nos quedan una para la pega.
Cuando parta el match vamos a enviarle los códigos, para que estén atentos.
Yo paseaba ya riendo cerca de la pega. Esto se podría quedar como una cuadra de la pega, ¿cachai? Sí, dar la vuelta.
Oye, ver el barrio va a quedar al lado de la pega y nos va a regalar cosas. Si tú vas a regalar cosas.
Voy a llegar temprano, eso es el nervioso, voy a que tomar micro, si voy a llegar así. Hola, permiso,
pues sabéis que tenéis que aprovechar esa weá. Llegáis y empezáis a hacerte un café ahí mismo. Para que te vean que llegaste.
No, llegar a las 7 el primer día, sí. ¿A qué hora me dijo que llegara?
Puta el weón, no se acuerda de la weá. Y nos va a dejar para que quedan ahí un rato.
I really like Sorteo here because they have 3 squishy targets on Fnatic, so Sorteo should be able to pick one of them off.
Rata hebrea, aquí yo no veo ningún momento que dice 30, mira cómo baja.
23.
¡Oh, el 23! El público se está volviendo loco.
Y tenemos que irnos en 10 minutos. ¿Tenemos código ya?
Sí, ya otro los 30, al tiro nomás. Si llegan a los 30, otro código.
En un minuto fuimos 100. Puta la
if you have this core in the Jing 10, Kepri, and Zhong that are very late game based,
tenemos que ir un rato más. ¿No era a las 8?
Que podemos estar nosotros hasta las 8, pero la gente se tiene que ir a las 7. Ese es el problema.
Ah, ya.
Algún día lo pensaré y lo tiraremos, ¿ya? Lo voy a pensar. Déjame la idea ahí, déjame la idea ahí. Lo voy a pensar.
Para mañana, chicos, los que quieran venir, va a haber un evento de dibujo. De hecho, que traigan lápices, papel, vengan preparados, pues vengan preparados, traigan condones también, pues. Vengan preparados. ¿Ya?
This is DM, and we are both toying Fnatic versus Enemy. You heard it, Fnatic in 3 from the analyst, Golden Boy. Anyway, this is Enemy. What do you guys think? Fnatic, yes?
It's gonna be close. I feel like most of everybody say Fnatic, but Enemy can just as easily win as Fnatic in my opinion.
I mean, I go back to Super Regionals, and Enemy had a really good performance, but it was close, whereas Fnatic versus Eager was not. The last time we saw them perform, I mean, I gotta give it to Fnatic. Fnatic was a very, very good squad. We've seen them, although I gotta say that they didn't look like they were firing all cylinders going minute 1 to minute 10 versus QG. If they don't get off to that good start versus Enemy is definitely a team that is known for their early game play. And beyond leading the charge here, and you gotta like adjust getting the Cirque as well in this matchup. Yeah, I mean, he's got a feel about that. I mean, right, Cirque got really far down the list as well.
Yeah, look at Enemy's comp. I think they like it a lot. They have Kepri Shablanke, really, really good for counter engaging. They also have Zhong Kui, which is great for counter engaging. And Cirque is going to pick off any stragglers. They also have Jing 10, and he's just insanely strong right now. So I'm surprised Enemy ended up with this lineup. I think this is a great lineup for them to take this game. What do you think about the tier pick into Jing 10? I think it's good. It has healing, so
Saluda al abuelo
it can sustain
que está aquí cuando saluda el streamer.
Keep up with them. Like, he's looking at 3 healers, 2 of them in the core position. That's Real's going to be healing himself up, Maniac healing himself on the tier, Badger with the AoE heals going into the Zyro heals as well. Zyro heals as well. Trying to solve that one a little bit more janky. That is a self heal.
Ooh, look at this! I like this a lot. I think they're going to try to fight him at red buff.
They are indeed. We'll see if
not
yet. They fought this one out early, and now they go. Yeah, they're going to move in. They have the ward covered. Soul has no way out of this. Can they grab Soul? She's slowed down. Kepri trying to turn core tank and get the hug. He's like, go for it. Can they void out the rip up now? Is Enemy going to just come up empty on this invade? Honestly, this could be worse because now with Zyro's having this much health, he doesn't really have a way to continue fighting lanes. Beautiful Spirit Arrow by Real Species. He was forced to take that potion. And wow, look at that. You were saying Soul has a problem.
Oye, avisen si ya lo sacaron, ¿cierto? Para poner otro.
So that's the thing, they don't go through the body block, like, doesn't matter. Back to arcing shots over the top, would have found that kill either way. Fnatic still finds a way to prioritize their
No, si puesto puro.
He's got over here, there it is. And then he's going to throw out Ron, not going to find Barrel Badger, but he does force a little bit more man out of pain. With this, Reels and Badger can now go into the jungle with their purple buff or go for the invade, albeit risky.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. They just got kills with lower health, and it looks like they're just going to try to keep out-pushing them, which is just as good as getting their purple.
And look at Enemy deciding to stall out that lane there. Good call as they were going to lose considerable lane advantage by clearing that one out again. Back over to the solo lane now, where it's Salt Machine versus Maniac. And this is how this matchup is going to go. Jin Ken, generally speaking, the character is listed around 50% HP for the first 6 or 7 levels as he stacks up to HP 5 and gets those abilities online. And really his ability to clear being the most suspect for the first few levels. I would like to see Maniac hard push next wave and immediately back right as the blue buff is about to end. This would give him boost 2 and extra mana because he's not super low by the time he just goes through. I love that, by the way, using the blue zone to keep everything locked together. You see him pushing right through. Salt Machine's going to have a hard time.
Lo voy a poner con dificultad, con espacio. Ah, para
que Salt Machine's definitely fine with this. Jing Kai Blade is fast like
mucho espacio.
Sí.
¿Un espacio?
Sí. He's that good.
Mercury goes, hey mage, or bye mage.
Yeah, but Jing Kai goes, hey everybody, bye.
Sí. Mañana podríamos tirar códigos por letra. Sí, una letra así, pa.
uno,
sí.
Da uno ya.
Sí, pa. Y la gente se espera, así ya, el código. Así con el colon a punto de reventar. Oye, ¿Mañana quién va a estar?
Tenemos que ver ahora cómo quedó la tabla, porque yo ni siquiera he mirado eso. Pero ahora jugando no hay competencia.
¿Ah?
Disfruta esta partida porque va a ser buena.
No, pero mañana quién va a estar. Acá, acá.
Ah, no sé. ¿Del staff?
¿Mm?
Yo voy a estar.
Sí.
¿Y tú? ¿Vas a estar?
Es que eso quiero ver. Si falta gente no voy a poder faltar.
Vamos a ver que conversarlo ahí más rato en el chat.
Sí, porque yo quiero ver el tema del mi arriendo. Cosa que, por ejemplo, ahora busco y el sábado confirmo.
¿Hoy tienes algún arriendo para dar?
No, sí tengo unos buenos.
Ah, ya lo tengo.
Sí, sí tengo aquí unos cocachados, sí.
Mira, parece que él ganó. Otra skin que no sea tir, no, tenemos puros tir.
Puros tir, a partir.
A partir hasta el fin. No, están con los espacios. Uno tiene que sacar los espacios.
Combo like decide the game. I will never let you lose that.
Tier has the potential to do that. It's super hard to do that, and the other team kind of has to make a mistake for that to happen.
A little bit early on the exorcism, yet still Captain Twig forced away. Adjust, looking for...
He's going to be doing no damage here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. He's still staying around, though.
Tier picked him up with his power cleave. Yeah.
Ya lo tiene, pues ya lo tiene en el evento. Mañana vamos a tener que mirar 200 que yo me voy a rascar, voy a llegar a la casita y voy a sacar los juegos.
Well, what was he expecting was going to happen? He's going to throw out a Cobra's Kiss and find a kill?
He might have got one of those.
Yeah, actually they have.
I don't
think
he did, though. I mean, it's not a lot of damage.
He only hit the first dart and he didn't die off the first dart.
I'm surprised Badger didn't play up there and just kind of pull him. He hit a random pull and could have died.
Yeah, feels like a good time to zone, indeed, yeah.
Maybe he didn't know where Kepri was?
No, yeah, that's a good point.
Then again, I mean...
I still feel like he could have done it.
Yeah, even if Kepri was there. But still 1-0, Fnatic in a good spot. They're getting both mid camps that round. They're still up 1-0 on the first blood, about 700 gold.
An experienced lead going to the side of enemy. Gold is going to Fnatic, but still, this will be the close.
And not work out, but I really feel like this is one of the few times they didn't get the buff, they didn't get the kill. Vishium goes into lane at half health as a result, and that first blood...
They needed to change their routing fuel lane. They got poked out extremely hard and it gave Zhong a chance to win lane. Enemies on the bad side, what I mean by that is they upgraded from red buff to mid, order side, that does from chaos to mid lane on the chaos side.
This is slowly becoming a hallmark for the Fnatic squad. Gold and Yuri at 5 minutes, uncontested. Vishium turns the corner, but down she goes. 2 hunters, you gotta respect the double hunters.
You know, one big thing there is that Zyros puts the circle on the ground from Radiance. That is
no, nosotros tenemos que irnos, porque hasta cierta hora.
Another thing to look at too is they're using the move group to secure every gold period, and that's super good. Zyros played this last game, and now we got real guys. So
para de dar cosas, weón, para de dar cosas.
Right? Just try to do as much as you can. Reels plus Zyros on the Stellar Burst. It's a lot of burst damage very quickly. It's very hard to react to.
Pueden decir cualquier
weón.
Sí, pégale nomás.
Was probably the least likely to take that full kill.
¿Qué hacía esas cosas, coche de mierda? Por Dios, Kirio me está mostrando porno de animales. ¿Ah? Mira, gracias, dice Diego González. ¿Cómo chucha lo ordenan tan rápido, Silvio Fernández? ¿Y sabes qué? Yo también, cada día me emociona más. Ah, ¿es el que hiciste acá? ¿Está bueno eso? La base. Lo lamento, pero mañana vamos a seguir tirando código y además vamos a tirar código 200 gemas, para que estén atentos, difundan que estamos aquí en Casa Coca hasta el domingo. Vengan los que pueden venir, ¿no es cierto? O sea, weón, que estamos regalando más cosas. Ese pobre hombre no ha cogido de nada. ¿Cuántas partidas faltan? Porque ya nosotros tenemos que ir. Nosotros tenemos que ir. Ya, weón, tranquilo. Tranquilo.
Both of them were just staring at each other like, I want to kill you, and I have to back up.
Yeah, the thing was there, Tyr was actually I felt like it just could capitalize on that, but he didn't know, so it's just hard to say.
Salt Machine still isn't back, and he's still sitting pretty low in one part. But his teleport's back up now. He's gone in a lot of trouble. Chaos. When we were coming through, Pain doesn't block that either, but some reason they're back up.
Yeah, look at how unwilling both of these teams are to fight.
Look at the gold lead. Fnatic just has a big gold lead, and I think they're going to keep trying to snowball this and not give enemy the team fight that they want.
Well, yeah, why bother fighting there if you're already in the lead?
get 5,000 cuts?
Feels like Badger has been everywhere so far in this game. Really highlighting the support play coming out of Fnatic. Sylvanas, I believe the first Sylvanas we've seen in the tournament as well.
Look at this. And that's another left camp. That's going to go to red. There's no way they can steal this away. Chaos going to be forced to walk back into the mid lane.
Well, guys, we're quickly now. It's just a single kill on the board in favor of Fnatic. This is a best-of-1 contest in the qualification rounds here at the SWC. Fnatic enjoying a gold lead of just under 3,000 gold, 2,500 to be precise, and just under 2,000 experience going their way as well. But it's not going to be enough to feel too safe against this enemy squad going into the mid game with the tremendous amount of team fights that they do have, and of course the possibility of chaos in the back line from Justin Chaos.
Impressive to me that Vicium level 9 with the 2 rotations he's had, whereas Reels, who has not left the lane at all, is sitting at level 9.
Yeah, Reels has just been farming. They both got like the same amount of XP, I feel like.
What is this? Oh my god.
Yeah,
first blood and gold fury, like, whew.
That's what I was gonna say. The XP is the same, but the gold's 1,000 almost. It's crazy.
On hunters of all things.
That's scary. At least he should block it. Blanca can come back and still do stuff later on. Especially with his ult. Even if he's doing no damage because darkness, you're helping so much in a team fight.
Blanca also does gain 5 power permanently per kill, up to 30 total power.
Right, and 50 base in-hand power for activating bolts.
So this character has 80, essentially 83 damage built into this kit, if you can find us.
Flag, they're playing.
Yeah, flag.
Yeah, here.
But there it is, Darkness of Night's going to be used by Vicium to get himself out of that.
Weaver, Adjust kills Maniac over in the right.
And he wasn't even diving the tower there. They just find him on the middle of the lane. That's a return kill from enemy. I did that.
Going back to the Sylvanas kill, I don't think it was lag. I think he was predicting.
It wasn't lag.
No, I think he was predicting this blockade dance right out of the root, and it interrupted.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I think that's what he was trying to do there. I think it was smart play by Badger. It looks really bad.
Support players just trying to help each other out.
That's what doesn't work. But if you hit that, that's the play they're going to show over and over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I think you're absolutely right. He's covering the option there, and you know, when the option doesn't hit, sometimes it's like, what was he doing? But hey, if he would have been a genius, how to hit that for?
Left side, trouble here. Guaranteed to go down.
Oh.
It's a good attempt, buddy, but I'll see you later. They're gonna fall. Enemy takes a pretty decent killing here. Just gonna try to find something.
It's too little, too late coming out of Captain Late here. No, Zero's doing too much damage to Vicium, and no one has checked the mid laner. Zero's doing a ton of damage here.
Walk down Pain as well, disapparate, pop over to the left side. Pain Devion trying to get out of this one. Overhead smash is gonna be good, but he's getting his ultimate down just in time.
Salt Machine.
The Salt Machine, Xingtian knocking up Captain Twig. Can he find the damage? Indeed he can, with the dot coming out as well. Gold Fury spawning in just a moment as enemy goes up 4 kills to 2. Gold Fury hops down and they may be able to make something out of this. Zeros, he's gonna get stunned out. Well, Salt Machine, he goes for the ultimate into the disapparate. He just wanted to avoid that stun. Salt Machine trying something there, not finding it.
He was just trying to time it for the end. I think he tried to use it as late as possible, but it just doesn't work that way. So
in the meantime,
look at that
down to the bottom left of your screen.
That split push cam showing that Maniac continues to push on. Pain Devion still hasn't backed yet. Low mana, low health, needs to go back, which means Gold Fury won't be contested for now. 500 gold going to be added to the Fnatic roster's wallets. Tier 1 falls.
So what happened there? I think the fight would have went way better for enemy. We might have a fight here. No, Tier's just power clearing the way of healing up to full health.
Runs.
But going back to what I was saying, I think I know Pain pulled him and he wasn't able to use his ultimate, and that's why it never went off on any of his carries that fight. He was inside a Khepri hug.
No, yeah, of course. I mean, you can't cast spells while you're casting spells.
Exactly.
So,
cancel it though.
4-2 right now. We're going down to the blue buff. Salt Machine and Adjust teaming up for this one. Gold Fury is available. I'm expecting big ward coverage and a big battle over sentries coming out in the next 30 or so seconds.
Well, all things told here, we're looking at a fairly close game. I mean, that big rotation from Xingtian, they do give up the tower. They find a few kills on the back of it, though. They've made up a lot of the experience gap has enemy against Fnatic. The gold, notwithstanding, though, still around 2K. They made up some room, but Gold Fury still factoring pretty heavily to this gold lead for Fnatic. She is back up, as I mentioned, at the end of that last fight, and you got to think enemies thinking, you can see the ward coverage already there. They really need to at least have a good contest of the next Gold Fury, if not taking it themselves.
Yeah, so we haven't seen a 5v5 team fight yet. We've seen Salt Machine rotate over and help clean up a 4v5 team fight. I want to see what happens when Tyr rotates over. The fights are going pretty close. Soul had amazing burst there. She put her ultimate in the perfect spot. And if we see a Tyr over there as well, I feel like they could easily take these fights right now.
Oh, Zeros? No, looks to be okay.
Así que nos despedimos nosotros, vamos a cortar la transmisión, ya que nos estamos sacando las cosas, vamos a mirar el último match con la gente de acá. Así que me despido yo porque saco el micrófono y lo voy a guardar. Nos vemos, chao.
Boots pushing into the mid lane. It's a 3v3. Jumping over the wall, the ambush used for Adjust. Not sure what he's looking for. Blink still available.
Yeah, I wonder if they had the icon up for the left side mid camp there and he was just going to go sniff it out. But indeed it is down. Looking at the items here, guys, anything standing out to you?
We got attack speed boots on Xbalanque. I think that could be considered pretty normal. Otherwise, everything else seems pretty static.
I want to see what he goes into with the uncommon stash. I wonder if it's going to be an ethereal or a stacking item. Wolfie is known for using a stacking item, but I feel like ethereal staff's a lot better.
Could be gem.
It could be gem.
I
Gems.
Mean,
Oh, we got it all here.
Whoa. What is this now? What is this? They're trying for a good pull. Chaos is in a bad spot, but Adjust able to keep him safe for now. A lot of ultimates used on both sides.
Chaos will get a good bit of damage out with that Junkway ultimate. Now needs to be careful. He tried to move forward to get a little extra out of it. And here comes Tyr. You were wondering when he's going to join the fight. Chaos getting juggled around, and down he will go indeed. The ultimate's going to be used by Pain Devon to save Adjust. But there's a couple ultimates now used. Here comes Xingtian.
Oh.
He's going to throw out the ultimate. He's going to find some minions. He's going to toss them at Sylvanas. Nothing cooking just yet. Reels does find the kill to Pain Devon in the meantime. He tries to make it into Tier 1 tower, and it's 5 members strong of Fnatic knocking on the door of Tier 1. And now another Gold Fury going to be started up by them.
Really thought he was going to teleport when that monkey hit. I thought he was going to dive. I mean, that's Captain Twig in a nutshell.
And you know how much? No.
Bates.
What were you trying to do there, Saw Machine? They say as he turns the corner, it's just Vicium and the Xingtian, who's very low in mana. And remember, he did use his ultimate in that last engagement. Not going to have the big team fight spells.
Oh, Maniac taking a lot of damage.
Tremendous amount of damage. And here comes Adjust. Adjust going to get enough to get that killing spree as well, guys. We have Fnatic's comms now. Let's take a listen in as the Gold Fury is at 30%.
He's him. We're gonna get gold now. We're gonna get gold now. Go. Bring it to me. Nice, we got it. Get out. Back out. Room. Back out. Keep running.
Yeah,
Back out. That's a jump. We help him? No,
he's out.
That's my bitch. Fuck, I shouldn't not get. We have to go straight to mid Twig.
That was a bit deep, Maniac, there.
Yeah, I thought you guys would have done, like, we should have let them come a bit further in.
Fnatic takes a pretty clean Gold Fury. Not a bad fight either.
Yeah, that fight was pretty interesting. I feel like if Salt Machine didn't use his ult in mid and miss it, they could have turned that fight around for sure. I feel like he was trying to hit everybody at the same time, trying to make the big play, and that's why he just couldn't hit anybody.
I think that's a problem with almost everyone we see play Xingtian. They're always trying to make the play. Like, you know, they're going for the Giphy Cat, not for the win.
Yeah.
And if he just would have focused on one person, picked off one, that
he
Gold
could have got
Fury,
2, I feel like.
You think he could even gotten 2? He's
I think he could have got 2
4.
for sure. I think he was just trying to go for Sylvanas and then the group of 3 people that are on the left side, and Sylvanas was on the right.
It's an old adage of MOBA players is, you know, even though you have this massive team fight ultimate, it's up every 60, 90, 120 seconds, whatever it is. If you can use it to get a solo kill, especially in the early game, especially when you can be sure that you're not going to need it again for a couple minutes, you know, you should always go for it. And a lot of times you'll see players holding on to those team fight ultimates for those perfect situations, as we were mentioning there. So Salt Machine, maybe a little bit of nerve showing there, going for the best play possible instead of the safe one.
I mean, enemies up 5-4 in kills right now, but the golden experience still belongs to Fnatic, and pretty handily. 2,000 experience, maybe not the end of the world, but 4,000 gold is definitely on the way there.
Oh, Vicium going to be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to use his ultimate in response. Captain Twig will use his as well. There's the Rising Jaguar to get out. Adjust. He's going to cut off Captain Twig, do a ton of damage here. He needs to get that in hand. He will indeed. The Catalyst has been activated. It's going to put Captain Twig down to about half HP. Here comes the rest of Enemy, but also here comes the rest of Fnatic. It's a 4v4 for now.
What is this?
Sylvanas. He knocks up one. Pain Devon's going to be the target. They're going to pull him in. Big CC chain coming out. Not going to be enough to get the kill just yet. Moving forward to zeros. A lot of damage going to come out of that Starburst, and indeed, Pain Devon will go down. Nicely triggering his ultimate there as well. Not another set of damage coming out from Soul just yet. Adjust backing off. Going to try to secure this buff for his team while Fnatic takes the purple buff away from Enemy.
Maniac, are you lost?
Yeah, what's Tyr doing down there?
You good, man?
It looks like he was trying to proxy a wave.
I don't know what he was doing. I mean, I guess he had the tier 2, but Adjust this year.
Oh, boy.
He has no ultimate, though.
He could still do a decent amount of damage. Taunt, Deathbane's on cooldown. How long until it's up? Good heal, power cleave out of the Fearless, turning it around, getting him out of there, but still going. Zyros trying for it. The slow's already been used. The final bit of mana will be used for the jump, and Salt Machine somehow gets out of there safely.
Yeah, no
Deathbane saved him right there.
Yeah, basically the no Deathbane meant that he couldn't put the damage on the team. The fact he had 2 targets was very good for him.
The demons.
Isolated here, trying to move forward on the Zhong Kui, putting out the damage. Captain Twig out of mana. They're going to tee off on the Badger now. Salt Machine's in good position to keep him locked down.
Whoa.
In the meantime, Chaos does get picked up by Tyr, moving in with the cleave. And Vicium finds a return kill onto Badger, so 1-for-1 advantage now to Enemy, as it does give the bonus power to Xbalanque, trying to chase down Twig as a but he's stopped by Reels. And this is why Reels is considered the most dangerous hunter in Europe.
How does he find these spirit arrows? So many of them. Wow, we're going to go right to the back line. Pain Devon going for the abduct. Not going to get too much out of it. Was that Beats? That was Beats.
Shout out to Vicium there. He hit almost every single auto attack in that team fight. He only missed one, and it was the second one he fired out.
Well, we've answered a couple of questions here, guys, as this team fight recap does come up. A kill apiece, gold going to the way of Fnatic, experience going the way of Fnatic enemy by 10. Very, very close fight there, and not much exchange between the two teams, about 50 gold and 50 experience or so.
Plus, remember, that's a stack of the passive for Vicium.
That's right, it comes out ahead for enemy, absolutely.
Just barely.
Yeah, enemy's happy with this right now for sure. They're just going to keep farming until it goes later and later and later, and then they're going to have one big explosive team fight.
Well, like I was saying here, we have some questions answered from earlier. It is an ethereal staff that's been picked up by the Xingqian. You have Sorteo obviously going into her Deathbringer eventually. It's the Warlocks coming out of Zhong. Standard build-up out of the Hunters there. And over on the other side, worth highlighting the Wingblade, once again from Hunbot, once again from Captain Twig.
6-5 still. Enemy trying to fight forward. I feel like Adjust has been the key here. Even though we've seen him maybe not get off the cleanest team fights, he's still 3-0-1. He's been, I think, the biggest portion of the team so far. It was just like that at Regionals. I mean, again, I credit their trip here to Adjust Hunbot's ult. One of the best, if not the best Hunbot's ult we've ever seen in competitive.
Yeah, that Hunbot's ult was crazy. And it's funny, too. Twig also had an amazing Hunbot's ult to get them to Worlds as well. So both junglers have Hunbot's ults that are crazy.
But only one of them can play Hunbots at a time. And indeed, that is Captain Twig.
Well, I mean, today, I guess.
Today, yeah.
We can just like go play in the back. Yeah.
But still 6-5 for enemy. And this one is, as you hear Aurora keep saying, enemy feels like they're in a pretty good spot here, I think. Even though they're looking at a 4,000 gold disadvantage, do have the better late game. And they do have a pretty formidable team fight versus Fnatic. It really comes down to, once again, it's Maniac and Twig really setting up these big team fight CCs that are going to allow Fnatic to win.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Fnatic can easily win a team fight. They have heavy bursts out of Soul, and they also have the Hunbot's ult to spread everybody apart. So they could easily take this game and just run with it, but I definitely feel like Fnatic can easily lose a fight just due to the Zhonghui and Jingtian alone.
The Gold Fury's back up. So far, that's gone the way of Fnatic pretty handily for every game that they've played today. I mean, this 5-minute Gold Fury rush, I really hope that the teams that might have to fight this guy or these guys tomorrow are paying attention to what they're doing. With
well, it's anytime they are able to select this double Hunter set, right? You just don't look at it on paper and go like, oh yeah, that's an early Gold Fury team. But with the 2 Hunters, especially the Soul as well, all the damage that she's able to put out, it's effective for them. And Soul now getting online, 3rd item finish. It's going to be the Polynomicon in addition to the Chronos Pendant and Pen Boots. So Soul able to put out some damage. More of an in-hander here than a spellcaster as we've seen in recent memory.
So enemy has the vision on the Gold Fury so far, but they only have 1 more sentry left in their inventory compared to Fnatic, who have 3 sentry wards remaining. So it should belong to them at the end. But I guess they could back. They have to be very careful about their positioning here. Enemy cannot afford to lose another Gold Fury.
Looks like Pain's just scouting it out right now. He sees nobody's on it, so they're not too worried right now. Oh, red buff just came up. We're going to probably see Zhong take it. Oh, no, they're going to start a Gold Fury here.
Gold Fury started up. Fnatic. They're going to see what the response is from enemy. They'll notice that there's a couple spotting them out, and they'll move back. That looked like a timing from Fnatic right as that red buff came up to go ahead and take the Gold Fury and try to spread enemy out. Catch them doing buffs. Vicium now the one to start it up. Xbalanque, obviously a very capable hunter at tanking the Gold Fury with the amount of damage he puts out in addition to the lifesteal.
But that's what I was talking about. They wasted their last sentry. Now they've lost that fight. They still have another sentry in the inventory. If we see Maniac rotate over, they're going to lose all control. Was that a Maniac ult? No, okay. Stuck in between 2. Adjust in a strange position here, but should be fine. Decent damage. Adjust taking a lot.
Salt Machine continues over to the mid lane here. He's going to leave Adjust out on the wing. The fight breaking out. Captain Twig to get a Hunbot's ultimate, but not much follow-up there to Fnatic. This is a pretty decent position for enemy now. If they can find Salt Machine in the right spot, he's going to go for the root. Not going to go for the ultimate just yet. A couple people moving away from him. A blink going to use. Shankwei ultimate being channeled. Xbalanque trying to do what he can as well with his ultimate. It's going to be Badja who's going to take the brunt of the team. Maniac does get affected by that ultimate. Not going to get any healing out of that blue stance too. Not sure if he's really allowing for that in this fight. Now Salt Machine trying to maintain a front line for his team. Getting bursted down a bit, but it looks like enemy will make it out of there unscathed with a kill to their name.
And there's kill out Xbalanque too, that is, like, that's 5 more power for Xbalanque. It's just going to keep ramping and ramping up.
Remember, when we saw enemy really make their first stand, Envy started that game 4-0 the first game of the set, and enemy came back and won that. Don't count them out just because they're down a few thousand gold. They're making that lead back a little by little. They're already back into the 3,000s.
Salt Machine now really showing what the Xingqian is capable of, zoning out the team, able to kind of square off with at least 2, maybe a 3rd as well, as long as being careful. There's the ultimate coming out, but the Disapparate is going to hit from Zyros as well. He's going to have a few moments in this form, and now they're going to pile it on top of him. Down will go Soul. Real in trouble now as he is also rooted out. Vicium, as you heard Brandon mention, credited now for a 3rd kill. That's 15 bonus power onto the Xbalanque, getting closer and closer to basically a full item worth of power out of simply kills.
It's just auto after auto after auto. Vicium's just pounding them back into their base.
Maniac teleporting in, trying to hold the front line. It looks like they really want this tower, and enemy is going to do their best to take it down.
Salt Machine, once again, he's the one to watch on the Xingqian here. Going to be maintaining that front line. Couple players rooted out. Reels has been all over the place. Chaos, he's going to get pulled in. Zhang Kui does not have the ultimate available, so he can't fire that one off. Salt Machine now is going to be CC'd under tower. Painting going to return the favor onto Maniac, but Tier, that Lawbringer passive says only 1 second of CC in any condition, and there you saw it come into play as enemy looks to push his way back into the tower.
Blue power cleave with Sylvanas Seal just topped him off right away.
Yeah, it's going to be no problem for Maniac. I mean, as long as he doesn't have that Circuit ultimate poison on him, he'll be able to heal up really any poke pretty easily between Wisps and Blue Stance power cleave.
23 minutes in, Gold Fury still available and a few people backing on the side of blue. Maniac clearing up the Sentry Ward once again, 50 gold credited to him.
8-5 now, guys, looking at just under 23.5 minutes. And the lead it hasn't really continued to grow from Fnatic. In fact, it's been just experience being taken back fight by enemy. Now they have the experience advantage slightly in their favor, really a negligible amount. And the gold, you know, it's getting closer and closer to the point where you're looking at, you know, one way to think about that is percentage of total net worth of the team. A 3,000 gold advantage over, you know, 48,000 gold total on the side of enemy is not so impactful.
This next Gold Fury fight's going to be big. If any of the teams get a deicide out of it or kill 4 of them and keep 4 players alive, they're going to go straight to Fire Giant, and that's when we're going to see the bases start getting broken open.
We got penetration online for Zhang Kui. Not quite yet, aside from the boots there for Soul. She'll be going into Spear the Magus next.
Gibalanke, he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's got Executioner done. He's going to start hitting the front line really, really hard.
Yeah.
How is he ahead? I guess it's the Bluestone pendant. Well, Golden Hand, if you wouldn't mind. We're looking at Neath. Yeah, not quite there. About 230 gold away from being able to pick up that Executioner.
Look at Reels. He's invested 1,800 gold into actives
versus the 300.
300, and that's where you see the disparity playing out in the items. But that does give a momentary power spike. 2 old Vishian there, plus the 10 bonus power. He's swinging, and Reels can't box him, at least for the moment.
He does have Itchy Ball, so he can box him a little.
Oh, no wait, hey. 60 power swing is pretty good. Reels, they're going to force the backflip out of Reels. They're going to force Fnatic into the choke here, will enemy.
So the last time we saw this fight, Captain Twig had used his ultimate early. No one on Fnatic was able to follow up. With this chance, they still have that Humbot's ult, so I hope that enemy doesn't try to play into a fight that they shouldn't be in.
It looks like their goal is to continue pushing this mid lane in and forcing Fnatic to split out, but of course that splits them as well. Salt Machine, he's perfectly happy to run through, well, the entire team, essentially. May fire the ultimate here on the back line. They'll find a nice little lockup. He'll find 2. 1 is going to be beats. He'll toss another. Unbot's ultimate going to use to spread this fight out. Maniac doing what he can. He's going to go over the top and try to bail out Reels. Reels is the call, it sounds like, from Fnatic. We got to get our Hunter safe. Salt Machine going to be able to chase him down. Knocks him up. There's the kill coming out as a Ghost lands. Salt Machine credited for the kill. Pantyvan will sit in the Soul ultimate to get healed by his own ultimate. Adjusts the Trello, makes it over the wall with the ambush. Maniac can't follow it up. Barely alive is Circuit. And, well, that is one of the most dreaded sights for any Smite player.
Wait, how is Zhang Kui ultimate still active? Like, it has not been used. What?
He must have got it during that fight, because I can't imagine him not letting it rip there.
I think it's fine. I think he saved it because he didn't want to get turned on that fight. And they knew they were already winning the fight. But I feel like he didn't have to.
But I'm saying, how do you have that presence of mind on the world stage against one of the most highly rated land teams of all times? Like, I'm hitting 4, I'm smashing F just in case. Like, God bless.
Well, here we go. Once again, Captain Twig and Maniac looking into 4 members of enemy. Now all 5 rotating in. Badger, Twig, Maniac, Zeros on the side of Fnatic. It's a 4v5 at best as Reels is still down. Reels not going to come back up. Does have the World Weaver ultimate on cooldown still. Not going to be able to pick out a single target.
If Fnatic walks into this, Zhang Kui still has ult, so they're going to lose the fight, I feel like, if they just walk straight in.
Captain Twig still has actually got his ultimate back already, thanks to the Jotuns. Just in a good spot, but doesn't quite find the follow-up. Gold Fury still getting tanked.
Yeah, and looks like enemy's going to make the call to fall back from this one.
Oh, I don't know about that. They're giving up. They possibly could have been giving up the Gold Fury.
They're going to give up their tier 1 if they didn't. It looks like they want to keep that.
Trying for it.
Yeah, I mean, like, the map control coming out of your tier 1 is pretty good, but I mean, it's like a single shot away. You know, Badger can just kind of throw one over the wall and find that kill, no problem.
Going to see a Solar Flare used, not going to be found. We have what was that? Someone backed. Okay, no, it was just Salt Machine. He does have his teleport as well, so he's still technically in the fight. 3,500 gold separate the teams. Fnatic has been at this lead for quite some time, and it still seems like enemies getting the upper hand in every engagement.
Gold Fury started up yet again. She's sitting at about just over 12,500 HP here, so we'll take the team a little bit of time to get it down.
We got 3 Sentry Wards right now in the inventory of enemy, and they already have control there as well. So it's going to be very hard for Fnatic to fight into the dark parts of the map.
And they also have the Darkness ult too, so it's going to be super hard for them to fight. Zhang Kui plus Darkness, if they all walk to a clump, Jingtan's just going to toss all of them and force all their beads.
Warrior's Bane online for Circuit. We have the Titan's Bane, however, all ready for Captain Twig's Hun bots.
Right, there's a big difference between that fourth position, though. You have a Wing Blade going into a Deathbringer.
That's true. And actually, they're very similar gods in terms of build, as you can see. But yeah, he doesn't go into the Deathbringer. He's looking for a little bit more movement and tankiness, getting very close to the CC cap as well. With this build, this means he cannot go into Spirit Robe or Mail of Renewal, which have been very flavorful in the past 6 months.
Well, Captain Twig went this build as well. Last time we saw him play Hun bots here.
Oh, and apparently I was wrong. He did not go Spear of the Magus. He went Obsidian Shard for harder in-hand hits. This is better for Soul in terms of objective clear. Wants to kill towers, phoenixes, titans.
More of a caster style of build up here, with the exception of maybe the Polynomicon could have been a Bancroft if you're going for max damage as a mage, really. And when we say that, we really what we mean is the ultimate.
Structure damage is insane.
But yeah, structure now with Obsidian. Yeah, that's right.
I love this, though. We have a Runic Shield coming out from Maniac. This will reduce the damage that Chaos and Pain de Viand are doing and reduce the attack speed of Vedium. So we're actually getting a lot out of this item.
Indeed. 28 minutes now. The Gold Fury, I mean, it's just going to be this stalemate around the Gold Fury, it looks like, right? I mean, like, neither team is really willing to commit to it fully. Fnatic seems to be the one that wants to be the aggressor, but the vision, as you mentioned, Brandon, a couple times, is being controlled by enemy.
But this gold is not getting any better. I mean, look, it's 3,200, and that's after they took the tower?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, that was a tier 1 tower, right? They got 500 gold out of it. And really, I mean, that's been the story of this game, is enemy finding an experience lead through all of this.
So we have one more on the side of Fnatic, and we're talking about Sentry Wards. They'll be able to place down and win it, but Vedium still has his as well. So it should still go to enemy.
I mean, how many more times do you think Pain's going to root and Spirit Ball, 3 people on the other side of that wall?
This is a Gold Fury dance for the ages right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big one. I mean, it's been what, probably now about 5-6 minutes? I think 10? Yeah, I mean, it's
it's been 10 minutes, I feel like.
Uh-oh. Why? Pain? Why?
Pain in an awkward spot. He's fairly tanky, though, on the Kepri. Don't want to be forced to use his ultimate here if he can.
They're going deep, man. They're trying for it.
Oh, this Xingqian ultimate could be huge. You'll be able to get it off in traffic here. The Zhonghui ultimate was used as well. Badger getting low. Reels chased down. Badger goes down as well. That's 2 at least for now. Maniac's in trouble. Captain Twig, he wants to go back in, but I don't think he can. Maniac getting exploded by Shiba Lanke. Vicium doing the damage. Zero's going to be zoned out as well. Tyr thought he was so tanky and so cheeky, but all the penetration out of Vicium just goes right through him, and now enemy in great position for a tier 1 and a Gold Fury.
I mean, Heavenly Agility plus Recall Demons, there's nothing to do to fight it. You have to pop Shell and you have to get out. They tried to fight into it and they just couldn't.
Pain de Viand won that fight. Oh, we got Zero's in trouble!
He's trying for it. Can he get into the Corpulent form? He might be safe. Salt Machine going deep for it. Goes for the second jump, gets juked. He's in the background. Pain's gonna keep him safe. No, he's actually gonna get out of this one. He's gonna get pulled all the way back, and Zyro still falls.
The plays, Pain de Viand, and the communication coming out of the enemy squad. Salt Machine, it was close. That last tower shot almost didn't kill him.
The biggest thing on that Gold Fury was Shell out of Pain de Viand. He popped it right as Humbots ulted, and all their damage came in at the same time.
Twig, you gonna go for it? No.
Exercise Demon's gonna be enough.
I think that's gonna be it. Let's go to the grabs here. I think they've tied it up.
They're very close, yes indeed. 500 gold and now 7K experience out of the last team fight. That team fight recap is going to read like 100 million experience on the side of enemy. I mean, they just made what? I mean, that was literally 7,000 experience off of a team fight plus Gold Fury. I mean, that's a tremendous swing.
They won the fight handily. They didn't lose a single person.
So I was talking to Adonis yesterday, and I brought up that I feel like it comes down to pick and ban for this set. And he's like, I think Fnatic's still going to win, but enemy, with this pick and ban, I think they're extremely hard to beat.
I think Fnatic, I want to say that they maybe just kind of forgot about Xingqian. I mean, not literally, but like, maybe they just didn't remember enemy at Super Regional.
See, I don't think it's that Xingqian is like the best character in the game, but you put Xingqian, who is unkillable, with a Kepri who will make him literally unkillable.
It's Salt Machine on Xingqian was a huge part of this success of enemy at Super Regionals. Like, he carried games.
But I feel like,
yeah, I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Right? That's what Jim said. He's just like, yeah.
What do you do? I mean, at this point, I mean, he's just come online, right? I mean, that's just how it goes, buddy. I mean, it's just like Xingqian just he stacks up these defensive items. The Ethereal Staff with all of the HP gives him, enough damage. The percentage damage really helps him build so tanky without really needing.
And they're investing. They're investing.
The bonus protection that's coming up from Pain de Viand in these circumstances as well. Not to mention the Soul Eater from Vicium giving the bonus protections. He is a very resilient frontliner.
Decent damage, but I mean, Salt Machine just doesn't seem to care. still not unstable. She's not getting full damage, and Maniac in place, not going to get it. Adjust beads and out of there.
That doesn't happen. You don't see C tier until you kill him. That's like almost impossible to do. That's fully credited to the amount of damage that Vicium is putting out. Executioner was a tremendous pickup for this team. In fact, the entire game has changed now that he's able to shred the frontline tanks.
Yeah, Vicium now 5 of his 6 kills, almost pretty much a critical mass. He's got Rage online, he's going crit, and I mean, he has the damage. Player damage right now still belongs to Soul, but he's starting to catch up.
This is a really tough position, and I think to be as a Neath, especially for Reals, where you are a hunter that doesn't scale as aggressively in the late game. You're looking at now about 33 minutes, going to be 35 before you get another engagement, into a Shibalanke who's beating your farm.
I feel like what Fnatic needs to do is look for a huge Soul ult, because she's doing so much damage right now. If they can get a big one up, oh Shing 10 ults!
He's going to find Salt. She's going to get into the incorporeal form. The Salt Machine's perfectly happy to fight all 3 members.
Remember, she is knockback immune during that. So even if she doesn't get into the form, she's not getting thrown. Zyros being very... Oh, knocked up.
And Devion looking to zone the team out. Salt Machine, he's holding out the Hun bots, which goes in. He realizes the Fire Giant's only about 50%. Healing back up now as enemy disengages. They're going to try to turn on to Badger. The Soul Ultimate comes out, doesn't do enough damage to really change the fight. Chaos in the front line, channeling his ultimate. He's got the Kepri ultimate on top of him as well to keep him alive. No way they can burst him down. Maniac causing chaos in the back lines. Captain Twig around the corner. Enemy still going to move forward. They're going to find the poison darts on to tier, but it does look like overall Fnatic comes out ahead in the poke game. Adjust.
All over the place. No, he's stuck. He's stuck. He's stuck. He's down.
He got blown up by that Neath ultimate there, holding him in place and allowing the damage to come in.
Got him.
Vicium force out of the back line. Here comes Salt Machine. Here comes Salt Machine. Does he have what it takes to find this kill? He needs to make space for Shibalanke to put the damage in. He's the only real damage remaining on the board.
How does Reals keep finding these max range spirit arrows? Salt Machine gonna chuck one back, but it's gonna be Maniac. Do they want this for real? He's staying alive for now. Good heal. Few more shots. Chaos.
He puts into the back line.
He's back in.
Oh my God, Chaos! Chaos has just turned this game on the head with the point in from Zhonghui. Finds a 2-man stun into the double kill now for Shibalanke, sitting on 5 kills, nearly max passive.
That teleport out of nowhere.
I mean, nobody saw that one coming, and Chaos maybe coming up with the biggest play so far in this tournament. This could put enemy into the victor's seat, and I think that everyone, I mean, you heard the analysts, you heard us, almost everyone has Fnatic winning this game, but enemy is poised to take it.
What does enemy have to do to get the casters and the analysts and the fans to make them think they're going to win the game?
Wait, does he not have Fire Giant buff? Did they steal it?
Wait.
No. Salt Machine was just dead.
No.
All right, let's take a look here once again, guys, as Zhonghui. He just picks up a teleport and casually walks in. No one has the ward coverage. No one notices him coming. And this is the easiest Book of Demon stun in the history of Smite. Beep, easy peasy. That's an easy kill. And down they go. Chaos credited with a double.
And remember, at level 20, that's max stun time. Plus the card is double stun time, guaranteeing those 2 kills. Like you said, I think that's probably the biggest play we've seen of the tournament so far, except when in picks and bans, Knight picked Anubis because I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, that was
I love you, Knight.
Well, Gold Fury coming back up here shortly, guys. We're looking at enemy continuing to pull ahead now. 11,000 experience from what was once just a couple hundred. And now the gold has swung as far as Fnatic got in the lead. Back in favor of enemy. Is enemy this good?
But let's take a moment here, because a lot of this experience is ineffective at this point. Badger is 1 level behind, and Reals is 1 level behind. Everyone else is tied, so that normal 11,000 is not that big of a deal. The gold, however, 5,400 plus the Fire Giant buff on the side of enemy, that's the big deal.
As the Alienware Gold Fury does come into effect there. Yet another taken. It's 2 apiece here for the squads. So Fnatic no longer enjoying that gold lead off of objectives alone. A tier 1 and a tier 2 pending now from enemy, as they're going to make this lead into the 5 digits. Just going to be cresting over 10K as this next fight breaks out. Enemy looking to siege into the tower. Salt Machine holding the front line as one would expect. And the tower will be conceded by Fnatic.
That was so quick. Another 1,500 gold added. And, I mean, Fnatic's completely lost control of this game. It's starting to spiral out of control. They need to make a defense.
This is the best feeling that you get, I think, playing MOBAs, is when you know you're so far ahead, and you just go down one lane, take towers, walk over the next lane, start taking towers, and you just force the enemy team to fight you or to concede so much, such a big moral hit, basically, by just watching towers fall.
Just in the jungle, perfect timing on the speed buff, goes right in to steal it away. Twig's not going to have that either, and he's going to go right to the back line.
Fnatic's conceding the tier 2 as well. They're just going to try to poke out Salt Machine. Not that they're doing anything. Here goes Salt Machine. Let's take a listen in with enemy comms as they look for the fight and the siege into the base. Enemy finds another couple kills, and now they're going to make their way into the Titan's lair. Got him down to about 50% HP. Only one Phoenix down. Enemy looking to end their second game by walking into the base before the Phoenixes are gone, and indeed, Enemy will defeat Fnatic in 37 minutes, 45 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, Enemy has moved on to the winner's side of the bracket.
From the bottom of the barrel to world champion contenders, Enemy finds themselves on the winner's side of the bracket through the first day.
Unbelievable performance there out of the guys, and I think, you know, as much as Aurora said it, I think it's still worth pointing out, Enemy is down 4,000 gold and didn't for a second look like they were worried about it. I mean, you kept pointing, I kept pointing it out. I think it's really the most salient point from this entire game was how well they held up looking at that 5,000 gold disparity.
They weren't, it was like they were 5,000 gold ahead.
Yeah.
They just always fought, and they were always winning.
Yeah, that's Enemy for ya.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how they play the game. I mean, that's what we 2 shots from Reels. And is that 1/3 HP.
I mean, she's a mage after all, right? She's very, very squishy for the most part, even with the Warlock Slash, which actually is still not fully stacked.
This, my friends, appears to be where this game will end. One final surge from QG. And indeed, it will push Fnatic out of the base. Fnatic, you were right, Graham, on this one. You know, they're definitely biding their time. Another Roman Victor off the mark this time, but will provide the protections. QG continuing forward.
Can they find it?
Young, they find one onto Maniac. He barely got below the threshold, and then they will actually hold, it appears, for now. Can they keep the Fire Maidens out now? A Phoenix is going to come up on the right side in a few moments, but the Titan is already slipping down under AK. Reels will pick up a kill onto Thanatos.
Ouch! He got bursted on now. All because his QG can really sit in base. All the Phoenix is down. Phoenix is going to spawn on the rank, though, soon. It will begin flashing shortly.
That is a very brave soul.
That's a very
about that
dead
far.
soul.
Ultimate used. Knight is there, channeling his ultimate as well. Not much cooking. Badger just doing whatever he wants in the front line there. No one can stop the Kepri. They tried to tee off on him earlier on, but now he's just flat out too tanky. Fnatic piling in on the Titan, down under 4K, down under 3K HP, falling, and down it will go indeed. Fnatic will defeat the QG Reapers in just under 30 minutes. Guys, well, it was a snowball composition. It seemed like it didn't really get off to a great start out of QG.
And I think that's been the thing with China the whole weekend so far. The both games we've seen from China, their ideas have been good. The execution has hurt them both times.
I really liked that game out of QG, though. They showed they had a lot of potential there. They just didn't convert on the early fights. They could have easily went either way.
Completely agree. It's about the early game. They go for these early game comps from what we can see from the Chinese teams both times, and they didn't manage to execute it perfectly.
And Master Lu, the solo kill on Reels.
I know, right? That's the achievement on
You did that, right?
Got the solo kill on Reels. No problem.
You know, I do think that it's interesting to point out now that with QG losing this game, they will go on to face OMG B later on in the bracket. So we're going to have a China versus China game. As OMG did drop to Pain.
That's correct.
That should be hype.
And it'll be Pain versus Epsilon later on as well.
Let's not talk about that.
No, they're going to do that one? Why not? Brazil looking good.
That's scary.
Brazil looking good.
Yeah, but it's Brazil do win their first game. The only international team outside of the Western world to make it with a victory.
So far this tournament.
So far, we saw
this tournament, at least 2 more of them can win.
But this was the last game of the preceded teams. Right now we're going to go into the winners playing each other, losers playing each other, guys. But that's enough out of us, Max. Any final words?
I liked how QG played, but Fnatic got the best of them.
Well, there you go, guys. From our lovely analysts here in Aurora, guys. Let's toss it back over to our real analysts. It's Golden Boy and Adonis, guys. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Bart. All right, so that game kind of went south for QG very, very quickly. You know, you did see at the beginning there, you know, looked good, right? You know, from the top down, but then as you start to get a little bit more granular, things started to crumble, and then you just saw Fnatic run with it.
Yeah, you saw the game pretty, not even, but only slightly in Fnatic's favor. They had a couple kills. Reels actually ends up with the first blood at 145. Almost turned dangerous, though, because Badger didn't want to steal the kill away from him, so Reels went a little deep, so Reels did fall as well. Then the next 2 kills, once again, coming out from Reels, gets a double a minute later. I mean, Reels just got so far ahead so early.
So Reels, world-class hunter, gets the first blood, 2 kills after that, and then gets soloed by the Chinese. I mean, Reels, come on, dude. Let's go.
Well, so actually something that the casters had noted in that one was that it could have been like a possible disrespect. Like, just didn't think that he would do that. I don't know. Incon, what do you think?
Reels definitely walked in a position that he wouldn't have normally of, I think, in one of his games. I think he was kind of feeling himself like, oh, I've got a couple of kills. He's not going to come aggressive on me, and definitely put himself out of position into a spot he would not have normally done.
Yeah, and you know, another thing to note too is that Freya pick, man. You know, Freya really did change the course of the battle a couple times there. Some great plays, without a doubt. All right, so breaking it down some more though, you know, kind of talking about that Anubis pick. Maybe not the best thing in hindsight.
It looked good at the start. You know, you want to burn through players, but you take a look at the gods that Fnatic drafted, and they were very good at getting away from the Anubis. Not only did they have the Kepri for the revive, but additionally, we never saw Captain Twig actually jump in aggressively. All he ever did was teleport in with the monkey or use his blink, and he didn't need to use his jump until Knight ulted.
Yeah, I mean, with the Anubis pick, it's fun.
Well, speaking of turning fights in their favor, I want to talk about potential huge fight that happened on the 20-minute mark.
¿Ah? ¿Qué? Ah, ya, pues. Déjame...
¡Ay, qué calor! ¿Quién ganó? Ganó la skin de Banco.
¿Ya te lo anoto acá? ¿O te lo anoto acá en el teléfono?
No, sabía que estaba en esa mano, hermano. Es que, ¿sabes por qué? Es que como que le dio un tic en esa mano. Y dije,
para comprar el godpack. Ya, te anoto el tiro. Dame tu correo. ¿Sí? No se quedan más. No es solo uno. Son varios. Son varios. Son varios, mierda. Son como 9 lucas. Están llegando 1000 weas. Haz tu correo. ¿Ah? El Bastion tiene, weón. La otra vez me pasó una weá en cantidad estúpida. Y lo reté. Le dije que eso podía llegar a la PDI, weón, si lo iba a llegar, por la weonada. ¿Qué cosa? El link de SP, de carne de pollo. Y le dije que no vea esas cosas. ¿Para qué esas cosas? ¿Sí? ¿Ah? Ya. Y a ti te regalaron entonces el Draco, ¿no es cierto? Paco de Uroninda. Y las gemas, ¿no es cierto? Y ahora sí, déjame revisar cuánto era el precio ahora. Creo que era 9300. Déjame mirar.
Now, you know, this team, people kind of wrote them off against a very, very interesting OMG roster. But yet now they're facing off against Epsilon, a team that looks poised to go all the way at Araxia. Your thoughts on Epsilon versus Pain?
I am really excited to see Stalker versus Demi. We talked about Stalker's tier and how great it was, and then we got to see Stalker's tier and how great it is. So I'm really interested to see how Dimmy deals with this, because he is a master of counter matchups. That's the one thing. He is a very deep god pool, and he's willing to play a lot of things, whether they're standard or not. So for me, you know, are they going to let Stalker get this tier, and then what's Dimmy going to do with it?
If I was Epsilon, I would go ahead and just ban out the tier. You know it's the most comfortable guide. You know he's the star player of Pain Gaming. No reason to give it to him, just like there's no reason to give Adapting.
But now the tower shot's raining in.
It's surprising to see how well that Fnatic is able to take these extended sieges going into a team with a Guan Yu. It seems like they're always coming out ahead in HP, even after the healing comes through.
And that's the benefit of Guan, right? He just continuously heals the team, and if you can keep the fight going, you can continue to sustain.
Yeah, if they didn't have Guan there, they probably would have all died, maybe except one of them. Guan's just doing wonders right now for QG.
Well, Fnatic is forcing everything here, Bob. They're forcing the towers down, they're forcing fights at Gold Fury. Even if they don't win the engagement, they're still getting the objectives they're after, which is what they really need.
Indeed, there'll be no response here from the QG Reapers at the Gold Fury. Everyone leaving the base now. Soul forced to go defend the tier 1 tower on the left side. That's going to extend the lead to 8,000 gold, 10,500 experience on the side of Fnatic. It's 12-4, 17 and a half minutes into this one, guys. If you are just joining us, it's the 4th game of 8 in the single games today, followed by a best of 3 in the Xbox side of things. But a fight breaking out of the Gold Fury with no objective to take.
Wow, they missed everything on Twig, and now Twig's going to put some pressure on tonight with the help of Maniac. Bludgeon will secure the kill, and he's just going to walk away. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, they
just keep going.
The Anubis ultimate does a tremendous amount of damage, but you saw what it did to Maniac there. Basically nothing.
Well, Master Luke in trouble. Let's go, she says, trying to get away. Juku out and will make it out for now. But once again, Fnatic pressure just keeping out.
That should result in a tier 1 as well.
Yeah, I like this. They're taking the buff as well. They're taking everything they can, and they're going to try to push the left tower down, but they got minions all the way up here, so we might not see it.
Yeah, I'd love to push it, but I mean, I don't know. The response, that tower's so low that, you know, Reals may just leave it up just so that the Soul's forced to come back to the lane and fight him and maybe try to find another kill before taking it down, but yeah, they can rotate over there.
Two big talking points. Zeros has played very, very well in this mid lane. 5-0 and 4 been involved in the majority of the kills throughout the whole game. But the 1v1 matchup of Maniac versus Mikasa there in the solo lane, he's had a fine time there, Maniac. He put pressure on consistently. He got the tower earlier on, and he's making the plays in the fights too.
The one thing I want to see is Master Lu get into these fights and use his ultimates. He had some really phenomenal ones early game, and if he keeps those up in the late game, they can maybe turn the fight around, because Soul's ultimate is so powerful.
Wow, it's a Warlock sash for the Soul.
So going to go for the stacks. It's 18 minutes in. I mean, it's a little bit late.
Yeah, I think it's too late for that. Oh, we got a fight here.
Mikasa's in a bit of trouble here. Does have the cavalry charge available and will end up using that one to get out of danger. But that's what Fnatic wanted last time, and then they forced a fight afterwards.
Yeah, they're perfectly happy with that play, I think, on the side of Fnatic. Every time they can force that Guan Yu ultimate, it's going to be a win, because cavalry charge is one of the best kind of counter initiation tools that Guan Yu has outside of.
Well, we've a left-hand side looking
forward
for
as
Sol. They will get the pressure onto her, but that's all she wrote. Reals wanted the 1v1 there with the support.
I want to see the damage again. I think Bologna has massive damage this game. He's just doing whatever he wants. Look at that. 15,000 damage. That's insane.
Oh, Blink in. They're looking for the pressure onto Zeros, but immediate backflip in response. Gets away. Twig now blinks at himself. Fear no evil over the top. Looking for the damage onto Knight, but Knight responds with some poke back. Thanatos in there with the Cataclysm from Gavin support. Twig's in trouble now. Will Twig fall? No, leaps away. But here comes Maniac.
Maniac doing a ton of damage with the bludgeon on the backside. Anubis to fall, continuing on into If with the rollout. He's going to make it out of here for now. Looks like Young will be fine as well on the Thanatos. QG will, oh no. No. Bye-bye.
He's also going to fall down. He actually stood and just accepted his fate. Then he had no way of escaping whatsoever. Blink in and ducks as well. Reals
doesn't ever stop.
Yep, Reals going to get himself a double kill as well, and you can see that Mikasa is going to back all the way to base.
Yeah, they were also able to pick up the Soul in left lane. The combination between Badger and Reals.
Well, what happened was QG initiated mid lane, failed the initiation, and Badger wasn't there, so he went over to the dual lane to put pressure on, finds the kill, and meanwhile the 3v4 in the mid lane ended up going in Fnatic's favor as well.
They go up 1,000 gold just from the kills. They'll take another 1,500 out of the tier 2 tower here. Will the boys of Fnatic, they'll take a tier 1 on the left side as well, it appears, and they'll farm out the rest of the jungle, including the mid camps, strangling QG out of a comeback, and this one, it appears, through 20.5 minutes.
The messy start that we saw, the backwards and forwards in the lane for the most part in the duo, everything else seemed to just farm off and continue as expected. But then, slowly but surely, it's been a methodical game from Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic's playing really, really well. Maniac's a standout player definitely for this game. He's just doing whatever he wants.
Is it Maniac or Zeros? I mean, Zeros has been the quiet one in this game, but look at his build. He's into crit now already. 5-0 and 4, level 19.
No, yeah, Zeros is phenomenal, but I just feel like Maniac
put the
pushing
Maniac's
them all out.
had the most impact, I think, as well. I mean, like, the Soul Lane's been a huge liability. The Guan Yu has been consistently pushed out, especially now that the Frostbound Hammer's done. He's liable to die.
And that matchup can go either way as well, to be fair. I mean, the matchup of Guan versus Bologna, straight up, is kind of go both ways.
Well, we're going to see exactly how powerful Maniac is.
There we go.
Zone out the team. In will go QG, but the Fire Giant I don't think was really committed to by Fnatic. They'll land on the back line and try to do the damage to Maniac, but Maniac will continue to zone the team. Down will go on the front line, and now Fnatic.
So if goes in, he tries to get an initiation off, but he gets isolated on his own. Once again, One tries to go on someone to support. He goes on Bologna, the tankiest target, doesn't find anything.
Look at this, Maniac Zoom, he's just going to back and teleport right in at full mana. That's just going to be hard to deal with for them. Look at, he's right there on the fire zone. Oh, they allowed a lot of pits on the fire.
I don't think they really thought about that one too much with Reels up close, but maybe they've got a chance to go in here. Nope, too little too late. They're not going to find the kill. Mikasa now isolated, has to cavalry charge away.
Mikasa, the Neath ultimate just a bit off. The Hunbot's ultimate is good to hit over smash as well. They really want this kill. Mikasa going deep indeed, and they will get an overhand smash from Captain Twig, sealing the deal. 22 minutes in, it's 19-4, and Fnatic is knocking on the door as Young will go down as well.
Tier 2 town on the right-hand side should be the next objective for them. All with the Fire Giant here, all decent mana and health. Potentially look for a Phoenix or quick back to base. What would you do, Aurora?
I think they might look for a Phoenix. One is dead right now, and they have the Fire Giant. They have the pressure right now as well, so they're going to look at the Phoenix right here.
Let's take a look at Gold in hand. That'll help us understand exactly when they will go back. I mean, yeah, it's about 2K on Hunbot, but yeah, given this, with only about 1,000 on the Bologna, just went back and bought. Yeah, I think it makes sense. They'll take the Phoenix. They have the power plays, Aurora mentioned. They have a couple members down. And yeah, they'll shoot the gumballs in from Freya, the double Hunter. Very, very good at objectives. Freya not the best against necessarily the Phoenix.
Oh, but Neath is a lot better than Sol, for example. I mean, just because of the physical, so it will fall down for them as well. What was the point of the build here on Captain Twig? If you notice, it's all pen. He went Wing Blade, no crit items that you normally set up on Bats is looking for the extra damage. It's a very supportive kind of Bats build, right?
This is the World's build.
Well,
just like last year.
No, because everyone had Wing Blade last year.
Yeah.
That was the difference.
But I mean, that's what we saw. We saw all these junglers that we were like these damage carry junglers foregoing damage items in lieu of the Wing Blade.
Yeah, I really like Pen, though. Pen's like the best stat for damage for sure on squishy targets. With the Pen he has right now, if he gets a crit on the back line, he's going to do massive damage.
Well, Gold Fury looks like it's going to be a foregone conclusion here on the side of Fnatic. Maniac starts it up. Zeros acquiesces to kill it. Alienware's Gold Fury is down for the third time this game in favor of Fnatic.
And just look at how the graphs are showing you there. Just constant pressure for Fnatic, winning most of the objective fights and the team fights that have followed. There was signs of life from QG at times.
This game seems like a candidate that we may see our first 30,000 Golder experience difference.
I think so. Very carefully go down every single lane, take every tower, take every Phoenix. They're not just going to push on like enemy did and just look to end.
I feel like QG is going to try to stand up on the next Phoenix. They have Thanatos, they have Geb, but Fnatic has the Bologna ult, so I feel like there's going to be a hard initiation in, and it's going to be the last fight of the game.
Honestly, quite a bit could come down to the shield of the Underworld on the Guan Yu. Like, if he's able to return a tremendous amount of damage and force Reels or Zeros out of the fight, or at least stop their DPS from coming out, you know, that could be the window that they need. Mail of Renewal is up on Thanatos as well, so you know, it could turn into a nice
Master Lu's in trouble.
Not if Master Lu goes down. Disapparate is going to be enough for now.
And now he's going to have to sit on the backside for quite a considerable amount of time there before that's available for them. This potentially means that they have to give up this tower already, and you can see QG, well aware of that, going to back up themselves.
Yeah, with Mikasa having no mana here, they can't really heal themselves. It's the right call. They can see the tier 2 and fight at the base.
Reels is really scary right now.
Master Lu.
Yep.
Okay,
he's good, but yeah, Reels is extremely scary. He has both his pen items done. He's going to be hitting very hard on Geb
Keep an eye on Badger.
and the front lines.
Badger looking for the root, not going to find it there.
Yeah,
oh, what?
No, they just want the protections.
Rally here.
No, that was a misclick.
No, come on,
Oh, here's the initiation. Blink crackers, and there's the bomb from Soul coming down. No wrap hit from Anubis. Reels in the sky, returning damage. Mikasa should fall. No, a good shield from Geb will save the day. And it's actually Twig that falls down tonight.
Thanatos is up in the air. He's waiting for that backflip. Going to come down, find a stun on it too. But they don't have very much damage here. He's going to beads, but still will get knocked up. Young trying to get out of this fight. Maniac, he's going to get stopped out of the bludgeon. That's good. Silence as well from the Thanatos. Beads away. Neath ultimate is stopped by it. It will be going down here, as will Anubis. Knight is down, chasing into the base. Are the boys of Fnatic in some trouble as Maniac here, but the bulwark of hope preventing a lot of that damage from coming through. High levels of mitigation out of that item when you drop under the threshold. And indeed, just fine is Fnatic. They drop only one in Captain Twig. Signs of life from QG. A nice fight picked up as well, but still.
I agree. QG, it wasn't clean from Fnatic that at all, and QG came out on top. A blinking from Badger, gonna get the abductor, forcing away Soul once again.
Master Lu got hit by 2.
You know, but is it really the pick you want to bring out of World? Is it? it's Anubis, you know? He's not a top-tier pick, and maybe if they picked something else, then Knight could have had a stronger showing, maybe like a Chronos or something, 'cause I know Channel loves that, but the Anubis, it is fun, but...
For me, honestly, I don't mind the Anubis pick. For me, it was more of the fact that they did not play aggressive early. When he picked up the wrap at level 3, I was waiting for him to wrap so Thanatos would guaranteed hit his scythe. If he could have guaranteed hit his scythe, at level 3, that's like half your health, which means they could have instantly blew somebody up, but they were playing way too passive.
All right, and another thing to note too that our production team had sent my way was that QG had 0 tower damage throughout.
Vigilda. Ya, chiquillos, vamos a hacer 2 filas. Vamos a hacerla arriba para que se despache. Ya tengo esa esquina, así que todos los pobres. Ponte en la pobreza, weón. Toda la pobreza, papá. ¿Por qué? ¿No es escoba acá? No veo la escoba. No veo la escoba.
Sí, por ahí. Por ahí tiene que ser. Es que se cae la... Sí. Ahí va bien.
La chela ahí se hicieron presente.
Estamos aprovechando de hacer juegos. Estamos aprovechando de hacer juegos con la gente que está acá en el lugar. Ya hemos regalado Poseidones Barba Negra. Vamos a regalar ahora, ¿no es cierto?, el skin de Baco, Bruninda. Y quizás también vamos a estar regalando unos Chintian, para que estén muy atentos ustedes. También vamos a tratar de mandarle más códigos. Yo sé que desaparecimos un ratito porque fuimos a almorzar, pero ya estamos acá de vuelta. Así que para que lo sepan, que lo sepan, que lo sepan, no sean... No piensen que los dejamos abandonados. Ustedes que están ahí en sus casas, en regiones, no pueden venir. Y ustedes, si usted aquí en Santiago que no viene, venga, pues, se está perdiendo muchas gemas, más de 9000 gemas. Y tenemos poleras también. De hecho, podríamos mostrar la bolera. Vamos a mostrar la bolera.
No confíen en el Kirio.
Tenemos poleras.
50-50.
El panteón japonés para que vengan, así que vengan, no se queden en la casa.
No confíen en el Kirio. El comodín de los pobres. Barry, ¿viste que ha hecho usted? Tampoco la tiene el padre. Justo en la pobreza. En toda la pobreza.
¿Dónde está?
¿Qué comento, no?
¿Ah?
Lo ves tiene